Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening to all my followers and my listeners in every part of the world. Welcome once again to our live stream. And today I'm with one of our brothers who was able to move to the USA from Ghana using the work route, that is the H-1B visa. So we are here to interact with him today to listen to him about how he was able to do it so that we can pick some few ideas. And we'll also be giving the opportunity for you to join us live to ask your questions in order to get answers to it since we have our guest himself here live in our studio. So, my good brother, you are welcome.
Thank you, Sly.
How are you doing?
I'm doing very good. How are you too?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Great.
Okay, so we would like to know you if you can introduce yourself to our listeners.
Okay. Thank you for this opportunity. So my name is Kennedy Bachao Kai. I am from Ahinkwa, a small farming community in the Yilokrobo district.
Okay,
I completed Kro Agogo Senior High School, one of the lesser known secondary schools in Ghana, but
okay,
it has produced great minds, people like Jonas Amano, Dr. Thomas Apai and the likes.
okay,
So after secondary school, I went to University of Cape Coast to do diploma in basic education. After which I had the opportunity to become a professional teacher. So I taught for a couple of years in Asisewa, one village called Akotokrugwa ROC Primary,
okay,
where I taught for about 3-4 years. And then I had the opportunity to qualify for study with pay. And then I went to University of Education, Winneba, to pursue bachelor's degree in special education. After which I was posted to Koforidua School for the Deaf.
okay.
And that has been the turnaround of my career.
Okay, we'll come there. Thank you very much for that brief introduction. So, a quick one. Whilst you were schooling in Ghana, both your diploma and your first degree, did you have any idea to work abroad or study abroad? Like, did you have that kind of idea in mind?
No, it has never crossed my mind. I never for once thought, I was going to be here today. It has never come to mind.
Okay,
Never had that come to mind.
okay. So, where are you currently and what do you do?
Okay, so I am currently in Pennsylvania,
Okay,
USC, but I work in New Jersey as a rehabilitation counselor.
okay. So, as a rehabilitation counselor, what are some duties you perform?
Okay, so I work with people living with autism and those with intellectual and developmental disabilities.
Okay,
So, in simply put, we help them to live an independent life.
okay, okay. So, drawing you back to Ghana, you said you studied a diploma and a bachelor's degree, if I get that right.
That's correct.
Your diploma, was it a 1 year program or a
No,
3 year program?
it was a 3-year diploma program,
A 3 year
diploma
diploma
in basic,
program.
yeah, basic education.
Okay. So, after that, you went for your bachelor's
Yes, exactly.
for how many years?
For 4 years,
4 years. And you studied
special education.
special education.
Yes.
Okay. So, among all the education courses, what piqued your interest to go in for special education?
This is interesting. I remember when I was teaching in Asisewa, there was this girl that had intellectual disabilities, and then she also had autism,
Okay.
and she was kind of like not interested in coming to school. But then when I got to the place, I don't know for whatever reasons, she found so much interest in me, and anytime I am around, she wants to come closer to me. So I was like, okay, so what could this be? And before I was doing the diploma, I had the opportunity to do special education, introduction to special education. So I was like, okay, this is a course that I have done when I was doing the diploma, and this a person that is facing this program, and it is something that I have done something small about it. So why don't I explore more to know how they behave and how they act? So the interest developed from my experience I had with that little girl in as Isewa, and that was the reason why I decided to, pursue special education in the University of Education, Winneba.
Okay. So whilst in school and finishing at Winneba, what CGPA did you finish with? Like what class and what CGPA?
Okay, so I finished with second class lower.
Second class lower.
Yes, please.
Can you mention the actual CGPA?
It's around 2.47.
Let's say 2.4.
Yes, yes,
But you're
yes.
now a rehabilitation counselor in the
I'm the
USA
counselor. Yes,
with a
yes, yes.
second class lower.
Yes, please. In the US.
This is interesting.
Yeah.
What of your diploma? Was it a first class or a
No,
second class
that
upper?
one was also a lower, second class lower.
So diploma lower and
Yes,
bachelor's to lower.
exactly.
Okay. So whilst in school studying special education with interest in sign language,
Yeah.
how did you find the course? Was it something you found difficult
In
or was it
fact,
interesting?
at the initial stage, it was quite challenging.
Okay.
What actually happened was I didn't actually start from level 4 a level 100. It was actually a 4-year course.
Okay.
But then when I had the admission, I was placed at level 200 because of my background as a teacher. I was placed in level 200. So
Okay.
practically, I missed a lot of the fundamentals, with regards to sign language and other things. I've not had the opportunity to, practice with them from the beginning. So it became quite tough for me, in fact, and it has really killed my spirit because it was something that I love to see or I admire so much when I see people doing the sign language. But then because I had challenges from the beginning, it was more or less like, pushing me away.
Okay.
Then along the line that I was supposed to pick, COVID also hit. So we had to, go back home, study, through the virtual means. So I've not had the opportunity to, study so much about the sign language. But then the interest grew after I was posted to Koforidua School for the Deaf. And
Okay.
that was where, yeah, it all started.
Okay. So whilst working at Koforidua School for the Deaf, how was the working environment like? If you can let us know more.
Okay, so working at Koforidua School for the Deaf, I mean, it's something that I so much I admire so much, especially with the fact that you are in a different environment and an environment that has people with hearing aids. It's more or less like an environment that it is on its own. So the means of communication is the sign language. So it was very interesting. At the beginning, it was challenging, but along the line, I found so much solace working with them, and it was an interesting environment.
Okay. So how long have you worked with Ghana Education Service, or how long
Okay,
did you work with GES before leaving Ghana?
okay. So okay, let me say I've worked with Genius for 6 years.
For 6 years.
Yes, for 6 years.
Okay.
For 6 years.
Was it a rewarding career before you left, or you say that through GES you were able to get the opportunities to travel to US to work as a rehabilitation counselor?
Yes, I would say, I mean, it has really helped. It is, I mean, working with Genius has really, I mean, broadened my scope of understanding. It has given me the opportunity to be at where I am today. Because if not for Genius, maybe I wouldn't have had the opportunity to, study special education and be posted to, Koforidua School for the Deaf, where I'll have that experience that has nurtured me to become what I am today and to bring me to where I am today. So it is rewarding. It wouldn't come in a form of money, but it is rewarding, I would say.
Okay. So how long have you been in the USA?
Okay, so I've been in the USA for, I mean, barely 6 months ago.
Barely 6 months.
Yeah, barely 6 months.
Okay. How is it so far?
It's amazing. It's very amazing, very nice. Yeah.
So how did you discover this opportunity? People want to know. There are over 50 people watching us now, and I
Okay.
believe the numbers are going to go up. How
Okay.
did you discover this opportunity? Because prior to my questions, you said you had no dream of studying abroad. And
Absolutely.
the most interesting thing about your case is you even had, I'm not saying a second class lower is a death sentence or it's not good. But we all know how sometimes it's difficult for people with a second class lower, both your diploma and your first degree, both you had second class lowers, but you had opportunities. But we know how sometimes it's difficult for people to have
That's true.
to get some of these opportunities.
That's true.
So how did you come across this?
Okay, so when I was posted to Koforidua School for the Deaf, I think I was posted there in the year 2022.
Okay.
So it all began through the help of a friend whom I've never met before. And, because of my relationship with my students, sometimes I do videos and then I put them on my status, So he was like, oh, Ken, this is what you do. I love, the kind of job you are doing. And it's so fascinating watching you and blah, blah, blah. I said, yeah. So he kept on, motivating me. So there was a time that he told me that, oh, Ken, there is this opportunity, there is this organization in the United States that sponsor people, give sponsorship to people to work for them. So I would share the link with you. Just give a try and let's see how it goes. I said, no problem. So around um, November, he sent the link to me. November 2022, he sent the link to me. I
Okay.
went to their portal to create an account over there, submitted my applications, but then unfortunately, nothing came out of that. Fast
So
forward.
can you mention the name of the organization before we
Okay,
go?
so they are called DevRu. The name of the organization is DevRu.
Can you spell that for me so that I'll pop it
D
up on
E
the screen? D-E,
D E
mhm,
V-E,
V-E,
yeah, REAU, yeah,
R-E-A-U,
yeah, X,
X as in xylophone.
yes,
So
V E E U
D-E-V-E-R-E-A-U-X.
X, yes, Devro,
Okay.
Devro behavioral science,
Devereaux what?
behavioral science or behavioral, health,
Behavioral
behavioral health,
behavioral health. So once we Google that on YouTube, sorry, on
Google,
Google, we are going to find
yeah,
information
yeah,
about what
yeah,
they do.
yeah, yes,
So
yes,
I'm just popping up. I'm just displaying the name now
okay,
on our screen so that as we can all see, that is the name,
yes,
Devereaux Behavioral Health. He says
yes,
that is the organization that actually sponsored him to get to
yes.
the USA for
No,
free, right?
not. Hold on there. I am just building the point.
Okay, 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 okay,
So, um, I sent in a lot of applications, but to no avail. It didn't work through.
okay.
So that was where my interest of traveling, came out. So after getting the refusal from them, because they told me they were going to get in touch with me anytime there is an offer like that, I
You got a
waited and
refusal from who?
sorry.
You got a refusal from who?
From Devru,
Okay,
they told me as at the time I submitted my applications, they were not taking people outside the United States. So I waited for several months. I've not heard anything from them. Then it came to mind that, okay, why don't I look for organizations that are in competition with this Devru? Why
okay,
don't I look for organizations that work similar to what they are doing and see, what they also have in their system? So lo
okay,
and behold, I came across a lot of organizations that do the same thing.
okay. So
So
how did you look for and how did you come across this organization?
I by then there was nothing like AI. So I used Google. I typed organizations that work in that has similar job like devil behavioral health. That was
Okay,
what I typed.
okay,
Organization that work in similar or organization that are in competition with devil behavioral health. So I saw a couple of
okay. So I'm not
organizations.
asking you. So it's not as if someone recommended the
No,
opportunity
no,
to
no, no,
you,
no, no.
but through
Nobody
that group, you
through
said, "Oh,
devil.
let me look more into this."
Exactly.
Okay,
That's
continue.
so I saw a lot, and then I said, okay, so let me just go to their website and then read. So I went there, read, and then created an account just as I did on Devro. Created the account, submitted my applications, and then I went to bed. I didn't hear anything from them. Others responded and they were like, no, for now we are not doing anything like that. So as to when we start recruiting people from outside the United States, we'll let you know. So I
Okay,
kept my fingers crossed. And then, so let's put that one aside. And then I don't know if you want me to come to my school application where that didn't go on before.
I'll come to that. You
Good.
just continue.
So I let that slide. Then I was there one day, and then I got a message from one of the organizations that I've even forgotten. I'd forgotten I sent a message to. They contacted me that um they want to go global. So, and don't forget, I sent the application to them in February 2023,
Okay.
and then they got in touch with me on December 2023. But this is what happened.
Wait,
These are,
February 2023. So that's
yeah,
a period of, let's say, 8 months.
8 months.
Okay.
So when I sent the application to them, they in fact, when I sent the application, the lady, reached out to me, and then she told me that, oh, Kennedy, we are currently not recruiting people. So what I did was I established this rapport between the two of us. So I kept poking her. So once a while, then I'll ask, oh, do you think there is going to be anything like sponsoring or recruiting people from the outside the United States? Then she would be like, oh, if there is an opportunity like that, I'll let you know. I'll keep your document on our profile. So when there is a chance like that, I'll let you know. So I'll wait for a period of like 1 month, 2 months, and then I will send in a message to her again.
Okay.
So I kept reminding her. Then fast
So,
forward,
so even though the opportunity wasn't available,
it wasn't
which
available.
you were clearly informed about,
I was informed about
you
that.
kept on persisting.
Persistent.
Okay.
So December, and then I got a message from her indicating that the team has decided to go global. And before she even sent the
And
message,
going global doesn't mean they want
like,
to recruit from, let's say, all over the world.
yes, from
Okay.
all over the world, they want
Okay.
to go. Yeah. So she the message she sent to me, she even had to apologize. She said, sorry, I knew. Oh, I know. Sorry, I know. You contacted us some time ago, and we were not able to, sort you out. But then this time around, we want to do this. So we want to ask if you are still interested in working with us.
Okay.
I said, yes, I am interested in working with you. Then we took it from there. Then she asked me to send my documents again. I forwarded my document to her. In fact, I thought it was just a joke. All along I thought it was just a joke. So I was waiting patiently, and then she told me, okay, she's going to send my document and my work experience to her team. They are going to go through. If I meet what they are looking for, they will reach out to me again.
Okay. So
So
before we continue, people are asking, what is the name of the organization?
okay, so the name of the organization is Miracle.
Can you spell that for me?
M
Mm-hmm.
E R
Mm-hmm.
A K
Mm-hmm.
Y K-A-Y.
Oh, I'm coming. M E R
Yeah.
eh?
MER
Mm-hmm.
K-A-Y.
Kay.
Yeah.
So this is just the name.
Yes.
Okay. So I'm coming. Work in USA. Miracle.
MERAKEY.
Is that correct?
MER
K
MERAKEY.
MERKAY. Uh-huh.
MERAKEY.
Okay, let me just edit this. I'm coming. Let me edit it quickly. M
MERAKEY.
R K E Y. Okay, so MERKEY. MERKEY.
Yes, MERAKEY.
Okay. Okay, I got it now. Charlie, one man production, so please
I know,
pardon me.
right?
Teach in the USA. So let me just display that on the screen. Reiko, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Yes, so I've just displayed the name of the organization that he's
Yes,
working with.
yes,
He's working as a rehabilitation counselor in the
yes,
USA in the state of New Jersey. He
yes.
came in just less than 6 months
Six
ago.
months ago,
So
exactly.
if you're having an education background, or let's say a teaching background or special needs background, and you want to teach in the USA, you can look at the name of this organization, Miracle, MERAKEY. Just
Yes.
go to Google, type their name, and read more for yourself. Let's continue, Kenny.
Okay. So I mean, throughout that, I've been able to come across a lot of these visa sponsorship organizations
Okay.
that with time maybe I would love to share those other organizations to your followers as well for them
So
to.
before we end this session, they will
Yes,
actually love that
yes,
you share it, and
yes,
we'll display the names for them to have a look
yes.
at it in the comment section.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let me continue. So she contacted me, and then as I said, I forwarded my documents to her again, and then they went through. Within a few weeks, they reached out to me that they want to have an interview with me. So
Okay.
I should just make myself available for a convenient day, which I did that, and then we had three sections. The interview, we had three different interviews.
Was he on the same day or
it
on
wasn't it
different days?
wasn't it wasn't on the same day, different
Okay.
different day. The first one was just like an overview of the work, and
Okay.
then the second one I had to meet the panel for them to have interactions with me and also to dig through my experience working as a special educator.
Okay.
So in
So
fact,
continue.
the recruiter told me that what they were so much impressed about my working experience and also my persistence in asking for the job opportunity. That was one of the things that they had to take into consideration because some people would just submit the applications and then they wouldn't do any follow up. But
Okay.
persistently, I kept on asking, and then that's how it comes.
Okay. Just a quick one. What do you think made them very impressive about your work experience? What are some of the qualities which spoke for you? If you can disclose that to our listeners and our followers.
Okay, so one thing that I have observed working as a special educator is the fact that you need to have sympathy and you need to be patient working with people with special needs.
Okay.
So if you don't have that attribute, you can't work with people living with special or people with special conditions. So it
Okay.
was my apathy and then my how would I put it? My patience with these people that has actually given them the that has convinced them to offer me this opportunity.
Okay. Okay. Let's come to the documentations. Please, before we continue, if you are watching us right now, we are live on Facebook, we are live on YouTube, and we are live on X or Twitter. Just share the link to your friends, ask them to join because this is a very sensitive discussion. And through this, who knows, you might pick an information which will help you move to the US with a work visa, which is the H-1B. So please share the link and tell all your friends and family members to join us live now because we'll be giving the opportunity for you to ask your questions as well. Okay, let's talk about the documentations.
Okay.
What were the documents that were required when you came across the opportunity?
Okay, so when you create when you create your profile on their system or on their portal, they ask you to submit your CV,
That
which
is the Miracle Portal.
yes, and
Okay,
all other portals that work like that. So you would have to upload your resume, that's a CV, and then you upload your certificate. And yeah, I think these are the two major things that they look out for. Your resume and your certificate. These are the two major things that they look out for. And then the
what
other
about
requirement.
educational transcript?
So for the okay, transcript, yeah, transcript. You also have to add transcript to it. Your resume, your certificate, and then your transcript. These are the three major things that they ask for
Okay,
when filling in the form.
let's touch on each of them.
Okay.
Earlier in the conversation, you mentioned that with your diploma, you had a second class lower,
Yeah.
and your bachelor's, you also had a second class lower. Weren't you worried or scared that this second class lower, which we automatically classify as a lower CGPA, would be used to disqualify you from the procedure or from the process? Weren't you discouraged?
I wasn't discouraged. I
Why?
wasn't discouraged in any way
Why?
because I felt like I know the kind of person I am when it comes to the profession that I've chosen for myself.
Okay.
And I've also come to realization that I mean, these people are more interested in work experience. They believe in your ability.
Okay.
They focus much on that, you know. So I was not actually discouraged because I believe that I am capable of doing the kind of job that I'll be assigned to do to their perfection, if only I've had, you know, the opportunity to do it. So I was not actually discouraged by my, you know, my qualifications at all. I wasn't.
Okay. So, did you do a transcript evaluation
Okay,
for?
so what happens is
Okay.
if you are hired, they will do transcript evaluation for you. So if you are hired, what they do is they would have to um, give you to an attorney. They will give you a lawyer.
Okay.
So the lawyer processing your documents to USCIS, that is US Immigration, the lawyer would have to evaluate your transcript. So they evaluated my transcript themselves. They did everything themselves.
So you didn't pay for the transcript evaluation.
I paid absolutely nothing throughout this journey. I paid absolutely nothing.
Are you being for real or you are
I,
telling
I
me?
am I am telling you on authority, I paid nothing. The only thing I paid for was my flight ticket. The rest, you know, when you get the offer and you've worked on your documents and you are about to go, you pay for, you know, you go for, when you are applying for the visa, you pay for your MRV.
We'll come to
And then
that. Don't worry.
okay,
Yeah.
so I didn't pay anything.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what of your resume? Because you pointed out that even though your CGPAs for both the diploma and the bachelor's, they were very low, you believe that your work experience had great volume and could speak for you.
Yeah.
So how did you tailor your resume or your CV? And what were some of the important details you captured in there?
Oh, okay. So my resume was all about, you know, what I have done as a special educator, and, you know, as a teacher before I went to, I went to have my bachelor's degree in special education. But then I spoke a lot about the fact that, you know, and I don't know, but I believe with the fact that I was able to work with special children or special people had also paid a lot of the price for me. So it was the experience that I garnered over there that had actually given me the opportunity. Because with this kind of profession or this kind of job that I am doing, if you don't have the experience, or if you don't have the love for, you know, these special people, you wouldn't be able to work with them. So I believe that with the experience that I gained at Koforidua School for the deaf, and for the fact that I have also spoken about my relationship, because they ask series of questions how I am able to handle these children, looking at the fact that sometimes they can be annoying. You know, for the fact that I was able to contain them for this number of years, they felt, yeah, you know, I am up to the task, and if I am given the opportunity, it's just going to be like a continuation of what I used to do at Koforidua School for the Deaf. So they have to give me a try, and you know that was what worked out for me.
Okay. So your resume, your that is your work resume, your academic certificates, and your transcript. Those were
Absolutely.
just the basic documents that
Yeah,
you uploaded.
exactly.
You didn't request for recommendation letters.
They didn't request for recommendation letter.
Okay.
They didn't request for recommendation
Okay.
letter.
So after you uploaded this document, what was the next step you went through?
So after I uploaded these documents to them, as I said, they just referred me to the attorney. So she also contacted me. That's the lawyer. She contacted me, and then she created a profile for me on her page. You know, so she also asked me to submit.
You so does it mean you didn't even have the interview before you were referred to the attorney?
In fact, as I said earlier on, I had the interview I had the interview with them. So it was after the interview that I
Okay.
got the offer, that I was connected to the attorney. So now the dealing was between myself and then the attorney. The company at this point had taken their hand off everything. So
Okay.
it was just between me and the attorney.
Okay.
Yeah.
So from the beginning to this stage, you spent zero funds.
I spent zero fun. Yeah, I spent zero fun. Apart from my flight ticket, I spent zero fun.
Okay. So after you were connected to the attorney, what next was
So
involved?
after I was connected to the attorney, she also had to file my case to U.S. immigration.
So if you
So
say file your case, if you can explain that
okay, so she has to
and
petition.
break it down to the simplest form for people to
Okay.
understand. Yeah.
Okay, so for all my cases to also present my documents to US immigration to
Okay.
explain to them that okay, this is the person that my client want to bring from this very country to this place to work for them. So these are these are the documents and these are his qualifications and this is what he can do. So you are going to add your resume to the attorney too. So she's also going to present that to them. So she presented that to them, and then the U.S. immigration would also have to go through all these documents that the attorney had submitted one after the other to see
Okay.
if indeed you meet the requirement or the qualification that will grant you to work as an H-1B visa holder in the country over here. So
Okay.
the attorney gave that to them, and it took some few months. One thing about this process is that it takes a little um, longer time before it goes through.
Okay.
So it took a little month, and then the attorney also, the immigration lawyers also responded that okay, they have gone through my documents, and I needed to provide for further evidence. So, in fact, when you open the portal that is created or that has been created by the attorney for you, you see that over there, request for further evidence. So when I saw that, I just contacted my attorney and I told her that this is what I have seen in my portal. So, what evidence are they actually looking for? And
Okay.
then she told me that, oh, don't worry about that. Your employer is going to work on that. So she is going to respond. She, as the attorney, she told me she was going to respond to them, so I shouldn't bother myself on that.
Okay.
So I said, okay. So I just let that slide. So I was there again, and then I got a message that my attorney had responded to the evidence they are looking for. So I should expect for like 3 months or not 3 weeks to
Okay.
hear from them again. So
Okay.
after 3 weeks, I heard from them that my case has been approved. After going through my documents, they have approved my case. So the lawyer contacted me and then she told me that everything has been sorted out.
So what is the meaning of they've approved your case?
I mean, approving my case means that they have given me the chance to start working on my visa application.
Okay, because the
I mean,
reason why I'm asking is someone might feel that the approving your case means you've gotten your visa without even going to the US Embassy in Ghana.
okay. So as I said, it's just a means of they telling me that they have approved the case and I can now go ahead to start applying for my visa from
Okay,
the
so
US.
it simply means that without the immigration giving you a green light, you can't proceed
Absolutely.
or move forward with the visa application for the
Exactly.
H-1B.
Exactly. That is how it is.
Okay.
So that's
So,
that's that's basically all about it.
okay. So when you contacted the attorney and you were in talks, what additional documents did the attorney request from you to make a case to the immigration authorities?
In fact, they didn't ask anything from me again. I mean, they didn't ask anything after my what's the name, my resume, my transcript, my certificate. I didn't add any extra documents to to them, to the attorney. So,
Okay,
but then,
so
but
they
then,
didn't
but then,
ask for. Okay, continue.
but then, when you are filling the form or the form that the attorney has created for you, when you are filling that form, you'd have to submit or you'd have to add maybe if you are married, if you have a spouse, if you have children, you would have to add all those things to it,
Okay,
because she is going to it is going to be put in their system, and you have to provide all those documents to
okay,
support your application. So basically, I didn't add any other stuff to it. These are the three things that I've given to the attorney, and those were the things that she also used in making a case for me. Yeah.
okay, okay. So they didn't even request for, let's say, your employment letters and those things.
No, they didn't request for my employment letter.
Then how did they know that truly you were working? Aside the resume you gave them, which captured your working experience and where you were working.
They in
Because
fact,
the reason why I'm asking is I can put in fake work qualifications on my resume.
good,
How will I be caught?
good.
Or
Good. So that is where the U.S. immigration comes in. You
Okay.
know, they do background check,
Okay.
okay, and then they also verify your transcript and your certificate. So practically, I mean, the company is not looking for an evidence to
Okay.
prove that indeed you work with this organization or that organization. Okay.
Okay.
But when you are going for your interview at the US embassy, that is where there is another, I mean, hurdle that you have to cross, because at that place they may ask for letters to authenticate as to whether indeed you are working with this organization or that organization. But for this first phase of the application, you don't have any qualms, any worry about submitting your employment letter or whatsoever. There is absolutely nothing like that. They only want to see your resume, and you can I you can you wait me the be shame, that is all that I want to say. Yeah.
Okay. So between the time you began this process where Miracle got in touch with you and the immigration approval that okay, you can now proceed with your visa application, which we'll be talking about in the second aspect of our conversation. How long did it take?
Okay, so it took for about, let me say, 6 months,
6 months.
6 7 months. Yeah.
Okay. Were you required to contact any recruiter or any agency, let's say in Ghana or in any part of the world, to facilitate this process for you, or
Not at
communication
all.
direct?
Not at all. It was myself, my mobile phone. I didn't even use a laptop. It was myself, my mobile phone, and that was all. And my God, that was all.
And your God?
Yes.
So it simply means you were also praying about this process.
Exactly. Exactly. Exactly.
Okay. Have you been to the US interview before
Yes, I've been there before.
based on a different reason, not the
Yes,
work?
yes, based on a different reason.
What reason was that?
So I went there for an F1 visa interview.
Okay. So since you know this opportunity was available, which you could move to the US on a work visa, which is far, far better than going as a student. Why did you go in for an F1 visa interview at the US Embassy?
Okay, so I mean, getting an H-1B visa is something that is very difficult.
Okay.
And per my checks, I mean, it is not common in Ghana. Okay,
Okay.
if you have such an opportunity, what it means is you are going to pay a lot of money before you get, a company that is willing to sponsor, because of these agents. There are agents that have these links,
Okay.
but then you wouldn't even get. And even if you get, the money they will ask from you is something that, you know, you may not be able to get that money.
Okay.
So knowing that at the back of my mind, I felt like, oh, let me just not focus much on that. But then let me submit my applications and keep my fingers crossed,
Okay.
and see how, God would work his wonders. Yeah.
But it seems my question has still not been answered.
Okay.
You knew very well this teaching opportunity was available. Why did you go for an F1 visa interview? And
Okay.
what was
So
the outcome?
okay. So this is what happened. Um, I was in a WhatsApp group, a teachers WhatsApp group. Okay.
Okay.
And then I had a chance to join another group created by your very self, education in the US. So I said,
Okay.
okay, let me just join this group. So I joined the group. I didn't pay much attention to every details, in that group. But once in a while I go through, the charts to read about those things, So I was like, oh, okay. I mean, if these things are going on, why don't I also give a try? But I knew nothing about the application system.
Okay.
I knew nothing about it. The application, how to go about it. I knew nothing about it.
Okay.
So I sent the group to, a dear friend, a very dear friend of mine. I mean, and then I told her that this is a group. You have the desire of pursuing your masters outside the country. So just join this group and let's see how it goes. Lo
Okay.
and behold, she joined the group, and I mean, she made couple of friends. She met couple of friends over there, and with their help and other staff, she sent in her applications, and she is in the US as we speak now.
Okay.
So when she got a visa, I was like, oh wow, so this is working, Why don't I also? So she told me that, okay, so you know what, Ken, I am going to help you with the school applications. So she helped me with the school applications, and then
So hold on. It simply means that when you join the group, you were a doubter,
yes,
and
I,
you
I
never
was, I
believed.
was, I
You
was, I
never
was,
believed this is
I
going
was,
to work.
I was actually not a doubter, but
Okay.
then I was, and that at that moment I was scared about, or I got scared about my qualifications because they were speaking
Because
up.
you had a lower in your diploma, that's a
Exactly,
second class lower, and your bachelor's a
exactly.
second class lower.
Exactly. So I got scared because they were talking about funding, scholarship, and blah 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 blah. So
Okay.
I got scared. So I was like, so what am I going to do? I mean, because I don't also have money at home. So what am I going to do? So sometimes I just go there, read the messages, and I'm like, hmm. And then you sometimes read a transcript and you are like, wow, these things are working over here. But because of my qualifications, I never had that effrontery to even give a try, until that dear friend of mine gave a try, and then boom, it worked out for her. So
Okay.
when she got here, she just like, no, let me just. And I think I even contacted Sly. I told Sly about everything, my qualification and stuff. And he was always like, give a try, you never know it's going to happen. Give a try, you never know it's going to happen. So with the help of my cherished friend, we submitted the applications, and lo and behold, I got admission from University of Delaware.
Okay.
But it came without, I mean, funding and scholarship, so it was absolutely zero, nothing.
Okay.
So I had to rely on Empower,
Okay.
you know. So I relied on Empower, prepared myself adequately, joined a lot of mock sessions organized by Sly, Tio, and the rest. In fact, there had never been a mock section that I missed. I prepared myself very, very, very well for the interview. That I even thought, when I get there, there was no way I would be denied. So I went to the embassy, and about 30 seconds, I got denied. You know, they asked me just three questions, and she was like, sorry, I cannot approve your visa at this time. Try again later. So it was after I got denied the F1. It
Okay.
was within that same week that I got a message from the company that I had applied to, that has sponsored me to the US as we speak over and over as we speak now. So
Okay.
it was a week after I got denied from the embassy, within that week, that I got a message from this very company that had sponsored me to this place. So whilst I was denied the F1 visa, I don't know. Sometimes I say that was a doing of the Lord, because God was like, no, you can't go to the USA with alone. So I am preparing a table before you in the presence of your enemy. So you have an H-1B ahead of you. Just forget about this and focus on the H-1B. So right
Okay.
after the denial, the following week, I got the message from, I mean, this my current company, that they want to sponsor me to the US. So that was what that was actually what happened.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
So
you were
in fact,
denied
it was
an F1 visa.
so
Were you not scared that that denial will lead to a denial for your H1B, even though you had the opportunity?
I was in fact, I was scared at the point,
Okay.
but then I had to make a lot of research. I had to ask a lot of people if that was not going to have a repercussion on my H-1B visa. So I contacted a lot of people, and they told me that H-1 visa is entirely a different thing altogether.
Okay.
So there was no way there was going to be a conflict. So I
Okay.
should just forget about that. But that notwithstanding, I was still scared that it was going to affect me one way or the other when I get to the embassy. But then when I got to the embassy, she asked if this was my first time of coming to the embassy. In fact, she thought I was there with an F1. So when I submitted my documents to her, she glanced through and she said, "Oh, H-1B," and then I said yes, and then she was like, "Oh, okay, it's all right."
Okay.
So
Before you continue, we'll come to the visa aspect. I don't want to take the meat out of your mouth, but then let me use this opportunity to thank my colleagues who have been pushing that platform. That is Theophilus, Selom, Sewa, The Fred Effect, Anoche Isaac, Richmond. Edem and Kwame Beles, Kwekurimon. In fact, they are really doing a marvelous work on
Amazing job.
all our WhatsApp platforms and our Telegram platforms as well. So I'm using this platform and this opportunity to say a very big thank you to all the administrators there and for the good works that they are doing. We know sometimes some of our members they annoy you a lot, but then just have the heart and keep on doing the good work for them as we keep on helping humanity. Let's continue, Ken.
Okay, so when I went to the embassy, in fact, with the H-1B, it took me less than 1 minute to get approved. They didn't ask any significant question. They only asked for my approval notice from USCIS, that is the US Immigration, and then that was all. She asked me to state some of the responsibilities I'll be performing over here in the US, which I gave her two responsibilities, and then that was all. So it
Okay.
was.
So after getting the approval from the UCIS that you could now go for your H-1B visa interview at the embassy in Ghana, what documents did they give to you? Our followers and our listeners would like to know.
Okay, so after your approval from USCIS, after the first approval from USCIS, I mean the approval that would tell or that would give you the go ahead to, apply for your visa. They will send an original document, from I-797.
Okay.
They will send those original documents to you. So when you are going to the embassy, you go to the embassy with that document, and that document contains your approval notice, your responsibilities as a rehabilitation counselor, and the company that you are coming to work with them. So these are the documents that you will take to the embassy. But then, if you are going to the embassy, you also have to go with your transcript, your certificate, and all other relevant documents, because for the embassy, you never know what they will ask, from you.
Okay.
So basically, these are the documents that I went to the embassy with.
Okay. So after you got the documents, what were the steps you took to do your visa application to get a date and to go for your interview? If you can take us through the steps for the visa application.
Okay, so after the document, you just have to. But before they even sent the document to you, before they sent the document, they will ask you to start with the DS-160 application,
Okay.
which I because of the F1 experience I had, I was able to do that. So I quickly do the DS-160, and then whilst I was waiting for the document, because the documents were going to take like 2 to 3 weeks to get to Ghana,
Okay.
so I did the DS-160, and then when the
When
document.
you say get to Ghana, does it mean the hard copies of the document
Exactly, they had copies of the
mailed
document.
to you?
Yeah, they were all mailed to me.
Okay.
So it got to Ghana 2 to 3 weeks after the approval, and then I proceeded with my DS-160 as I said, and then I started with my visa application. Went to the bank to pay for the MRV. It
Okay.
was during that time that they have changed the system. They have migrated from the old system to the new system.
How
So
much did you pay for them, RV?
I paid three 33,200, yeah, 3,200 cedis for the
Okay.
MRV, yeah.
Okay.
And with that money, the company has taken care of that. They have paid back, they have reimbursed that. So
Okay. So you use your own funds to purchase
yes,
that,
I used my own fund for that.
but you were reimbursed when you
I
got
was
to the
when I
US.
got when I got to the US.
Then you had a very good offer.
Yes, 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 I did.
Okay. Let's continue.
So I mean, I went to the bank and then did that, and then and hunting for date with the H-1B. I mean, there was nothing like you had to stay awake to get a date. No, there is nothing
Okay.
like that. There are a lot of slots. There are a lot of available dates over there. So just when I logged in, there were plenty dates. So I had to pick any of the dates available, and then so I went for the interview. As I said, I went for the interview. So that basically that has been the procedure. You have to do your DS-160, and then you start with your visa application, after which you search for date, and then you go for your interview. So when I went for the interview, as I said, I was made right after the interview, which lasted not more than 1 minute. The lady told me that I am supposed to pay for a reciprocity fee.
Okay.
Yes,
Of how much?
of I think 12,000,
Like $12,000 or
twelve
cedis.
thousand cities.
Okay.
Yeah, and the
And
reciprocity fee.
that money is used for what?
So reciprocity fee is more or less like a money that a national, that is going to work that is going to work for, let's say, the US. Is going to pay for the US. Is going to pay to the US government. So if a US citizen is also going to work for or work in Ghana, that citizen is also going to pay for that same amount of money that the Ghanaian has paid for, their jurisdiction. So it's reciprocity fee. I don't know if you get it.
I
So
get it.
if you are going to work in US, you pay that same amount of money to the US government. If a US citizen is coming to work in Ghana, he or she would have to pay that same amount to the US, to the Ghana government. That
So
is the
just like from the word reciprocal.
yes, exactly.
Okay.
So that was the reciprocal. In fact, and when I was going, I was not having that money on me. So the
Okay.
lady told me that if I am able to pay that money,
Were you aware?
I was aware, but I thought I was going to pay after I got approved. I will come
Okay.
back home and then do the payment later.
Okay.
So I was aware I would pay that money, but I didn't go to the embassy with that money. So she told me that is the procedure. I have to pay immediately. But
Okay.
because I was not having the money on me, she just gave me a cheat, that tells me that I've been placed on administrative process.
Okay.
And then she asked me that if I am able to pay the money before 4 p.m. that day, I can come back to the embassy for her to, do what was left.
That was
So
after the interview.
that was after the interview.
Okay.
So I quickly had to come out, place one or two calls, and then the money was sent into my account. And quickly I went to, pay the money, and then I sent the receipt to her. So when I sent the receipt to her, she gave me the visa. So
You went
just when
you went back to the
I
embassy
went back to the
in
embassy.
person.
Yes.
Okay.
So when I left,
So I'm coming. During the interview, what questions did she ask you?
she asked me, um, where am I going to work? And I told her I'm going to work with this organization as a rehabilitation counselor. And then
Okay.
she asked of my salary. So with the salary, you are not going to be told the amount of salary or money you earn at the end of the month, but then hourly. So it
Okay.
is stated on the document that has been sent to you. So you just tell her if you are going to earn, let's say, $20 per hour, you just mention $20 per hour. That is what you have to.
If you don't mind, how much was stated on the document? We would want to know. We will not come and beg you for money, but we
Oh,
want
I would want to keep that one private.
that's just by the way. Let's
Yeah.
continue. Yeah.
So she asked me that, and then I told her about it, and then she gave me a booklet that
Okay.
contains things that you should know when you get to the US. As at that time, she has not
So,
even told me,
so she just asked two questions.
yes, my the salary, and then the responsibilities,
Okay,
and
because
then where I was going to.
Oreku GH is asking a question that
No
no
bank
bank
statement.
statements.
No bank statement.
Okay.
No bank statement. Absolutely nothing.
But did you carry one along?
I didn't carry anything like that along. I
Why
only
did,
went there.
why
I
didn't
only
you carry any along?
because for H-1B they don't look for bank statement.
Okay,
I only went there with my
so you
with
had the idea that they are not going to even ask for your bank statement.
exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. But then I printed my pay slip along, should in
Okay.
case they ask anything but
Okay.
they didn't ask for that. But then I went with my employment letter from GES and my
Okay.
adjustment letter from GES.
Okay.
And then I also went with my transcript and my certificate.
Okay.
Yes. And the recommendation letter from, my headmaster, you know,
Okay.
with a stamp with a school logo on it. So just after I left that place, I was on my way home. I got to Circle, and then I got a call from them again that I had to come back to the embassy for there was something that they should have done which they didn't do. In fact, my heart jumped out of my heart. I was like, damn, what is going to happen? Oh, in fact, I became very, very, very petrified,
Okay.
but I went there and then the lady told me that, oh, they were supposed to verify my certificate and my transcript. So do I have them with me? I
Okay.
said, yes, I had them with me. And then she said, okay, if I don't mind, I can give it back to them. So I gave it back to them. And then she gave me another. Now my approval has become, you know, useless now. So she had given me
Why useless?
useless because now they are going to put me on administrative process. So the first approval notice that was given to me is
Okay.
no longer valid.
Okay.
Yes. So that approval was no longer valid. So she gave me, or she put me on administrative process that they were going to, verify those documents. And if everything went through, they were going to get back to me. She said,
So
okay,
by verification, they simply means reaching out to the various institutions that issue those certificates and transcripts
absolutely, absolutely,
and the
absolutely,
employment letters for Ghana Education Service.
exactly,
Okay.
exactly. In
So how
fact,
long did that process take? The
it took
verification,
it took 8 weeks.
8 weeks.
8 weeks.
Were you worried
I
going
was
to
extremely
work?
worried. I was more than worried,
Why?
but I was
Because
worried because it
did
was
you
kind
did
of.
you have any document there that wasn't genuine?
No, I wasn't
Why
having
were
any
you worried?
document. I was worried because those that I got in touch with, those that the company took 9 of us or employed 9 of us from Ghana.
From Ghana.
Yes,
Wow.
yes, 9 of us.
So
And
from your institution, are you the only one or you were more than
from my
one?
institution, I was the only one.
Okay.
Yeah, I was the only one.
Okay.
So, prior to that, the company created a WhatsApp group. Okay, they created a group for with the new recruits. So we had the privilege to interact with each other. And then we kept on updating each other on the progress of our case and other stuff.
Okay.
So those that went for the interview before me, some of them told me they were placed on administrative process and it lasted for 2 weeks.
Okay.
Others were like 1 week. But
Okay.
then mine went all the way to 8 weeks. So that was where the
So,
anxiety came from.
and you were blaming your house witches.
In fact, I was actually worried. But then when I think about the fact that my documents over there were genuine,
Okay.
that gave me enough confidence to believe that, oh, I had no cause to be worried about. So after 8 weeks, and I think what also made it delayed was the fact that they were migrating from the new system to the they were migrating from the old system to the new system.
Okay.
So, I didn't hear anything from them. It was a time that I reached out to them to, make inquiries about the progress of my visa. And then they told me that they do not have details of my documents in their system.
Okay.
That was what they told. And in fact, that had even killed me to the marrow, because I was like, how? Like, how could you tell me this? You can't find any records of me in your system. I can't believe this.
Okay.
But I was trying, I was pushing, and but these people, when they are working on something, they are very diligent with whatever they do. So I was there one day, and then I decided to go to my portal to verify what is going on over there. I went there, and then I realized that my case has changed. My visa has been issued, but I didn't get any email from them.
Okay.
So I quickly had to call. I think they've changed to a new system. I've forgotten the name of the new. So I quickly had to call them
The
to ask if
AV,
my
the
passport has been.
AVNST harvest. Is it that?
Yes, but then where yeah, have it. But then where they deliver your passport or your visa.
Okay.
Initially it was DHL or something like that.
Yeah.
So I had to call them to ask if they had received my passport. So I called and then they were like, yes, your passport has been given to us, but we are not
But no notification that it
no
was even
notification. No notification. I went for it before they even sent the notification.
okay.
So they asked me when I can come there for it. I was like, oh, I don't really know. So the next day I called that I'll be coming over for it, and then they said, okay, that will be perfect. So I go to the embassy, and then I go to their office, and then I picked up my passport. So afterwards, I came back, and then I sent a message to my attorney that I have been given the visa, and the administrative process has come to an end. So she also gave me some tips what I was supposed to do before I moved out of Ghana. But
Okay.
prior to the interview, the attorney booked a day for me that they had a one-on-one interview with me before I went for the main interview at the embassy. So they
Okay.
gisted me on some of the likely questions that
Questions.
will be asked at the embassy and how I should respond to those questions when they ask me,
Okay. Okay.
just as we've been doing during mock sessions.
Okay.
Yeah,
So Nyadef is asking a question which you answered in the beginning,
yeah.
but maybe people would like to know again. He's asking, did you go to college, like
Yes,
of
yes,
education?
yes,
Which college of education did you attend?
Mount Mary.
Mount Mary at Somania.
Yes,
Okay. And you did a bachelor's, sorry, a diploma in basic education.
education. Yes,
Because during our time, it was a diploma.
yeah. It was a diploma. Yeah, so it was
Okay.
a diploma. Yeah,
Then you said you proceeded to University of
of education,
Education
Winneba. Yeah,
and pursued what there?
bachelor's degree in special education.
Okay. So Nyadef, he has added
Distance.
additional information. So he doesn't only have a diploma, but he has what? Also a bachelor's of education in special education.
Education
And
with concentration and hearing impairment.
okay. So there are concentrations actually at
Yes, in the special
University of
education there are concentrations. So we have the hearing impairment, and then the intellectual disabilities, and then the visually impaired. So there are three concentrations.
Okay. So someone is asking what website did you use? I'm popping the website up. It's not like okay. So the name is Miracle,
Yeah,
Merakey. I've displayed
yeah.
that on our screen. You can have a look at it. Just go to Google, type their name, read more about them to get more information. And do you know whether Miracle is still recruiting global?
For now, I do not know. I would have to, check it out because normally when they want to do that, they send messages to. That's what I am told when I go to this place. They send messages to their employees to tell them that okay, we want to start. I mean, recruiting people from outside the United States. So, if you know anyone, if you have a friend that has qualification in ABC, so you have to get a qualification. There are special qualifications that they consider before they recruit people. So you must have those qualifications before you are given the opportunity.
Okay. I
Yeah.
think I have a comment here which is for you from
Okay.
Okai Charity. My eye, our pillar. We are proud of you. Okay. I don't know if you know her.
Yeah, that's my sister.
Okay. Okay. Wow. So Charity, your brother says hi. Okay. Then someone is asking, TDN, do you help with this process of getting teaching employment in the USA? I don't have to answer this question. Kenny, over to you. You can answer this question. Though it's about TDN, but you can respond. Yeah.
Well, I do not. I know a couple of friends that are into that, but myself, I am not into that. But I know a couple of friends that are doing that, and more also, my own is about H-1B. So when it comes to H-1B, I have vast knowledge when it comes to the H-1B. But specifically, the teaching is for the J1. The teaching is for the J1, which I do not have much knowledge on that. But for the H-1B, provided you have the qualifications and I mean there is any opportunity out there, when you contact Sly can link me up and then we'll see how best we can do that. Yeah, so that is all I can say.
And
So if you don't mind, I would want to share the qualifications that you need to have before you can submit your applications to any of these um, behavioral sectors in the US. So if you don't mind, I would want to share these qualifications. Maybe there are people out there who are also having those qualifications. So
okay.
you have
So
to
can
you
you
have,
proceed? Proceed.
okay, so you must have a bachelor's degree or more in special education,
Okay.
psychology, but it should be in education related, psychology, social science, social health,
Okay.
and then sociology,
Okay.
and guidance and counseling.
Okay.
Yes, guidance and counseling. These five requirements: special education, social work, psychology, guidance and counseling, and did I say sociology? So these are the five qualifications that you must possess. If you
Okay.
have these qualifications, then you would have the opportunity you may stand a chance of being, given the opportunity to come and work over here.
Okay, so
Yeah,
I
that
have some
true
comments in the
education.
comment section which I'm going to display so that we tackle them and we continue with the interview. And also, I'll be giving the opportunity for our listeners and our followers to come live and ask Kenny their questions so that he'll respond to you live. When I share the link on my various platforms and on my various pages, I'll notify you during the session. You just look for it, come live. We'll give you the opportunity to come and ask your question. But before then, let me take the questions in the comment section before we continue. So Nyadef is here again. He says, so that means you provided transcripts for both college and university. Yes, he said he provided
Yes,
both, right?
yes,
And
that's
not
correct.
only transcripts, but you added your certificates as well.
Exactly.
Okay. Charlotte, assume, okay, I think I've read this. Please, TDN, which is the Delali network, please, we don't facilitate anything like teaching employment or even school applications or visa applications. We are not immigration consultants. We are doing this out of love, out of our personal resources. That is when we bring people on board, we research, look for information, and share on our various platforms. That is on Twitter, on Facebook, and on YouTube for you to make good use of. So my duty at TDN is just to look for opportunities, is just to look for information and share with my followers so that they will act on the information, they'll make good use of the information because we always say you have to do it yourself.
Exactly.
DIY. That is our policy.
Exactly.
Kenny didn't use any agent. He
No.
did everything all by himself and he got to the US with an
Yeah.
H-1B visa where he's now working in New Jersey. So our policy is do it yourself. We don't take any contract or whatsoever. Let me also acknowledge my brother Shittle McBrown. I see you. Let me acknowledge
Hey, Mac Brown.
let me acknowledge my brother Kichi Richard, my sister Juliet, and my other administrators as well. I see you all, and I thank you for pushing TDN. Let's continue with the next question that I have here. Is okay. My Brown is asking, did they reimburse your MRV before you got to the USA?
Okay, so it was reimbursed when I got here. The MRV, in addition with the reciprocity fee.
Okay,
Yes, that was the
okay,
the MRV was around 3,200, as I said, and the reciprocity fee 12,800. So all got reimbursed when I got to the US.
okay. So we'll actually come to this. We'll come and ask you like in total how much it
Okay.
you spent and when you go to the US, the refunds and those things. We'll come to all those things. So Jonathan Obey is asking, how about set A degree, which is not in education? Any idea about that?
I do not have any idea about that. But if you have set A degree,
Okay.
I don't know, set A, and you have additional certificates to it, you can maybe support that with the set A degree. Yeah, so
Okay.
I don't know. Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
You can
So
support
Kwame,
it.
okay. Kwame Alex is asking, what about early childhood education?
Early childhood education, in fact, is not part of the requirement, but I believe it can be given a consideration, looking at
Okay.
the fact that it also has a relation with guidance and counseling, psychology, special education. So it can also be given a recommendation because they said these courses and are related.
Okay.
Yeah, these courses are related, so it can be
Oh,
given a consideration because
okay.
practically you're going to work with children as well. It's not only adults, so children as well. We have children over here, so once you have knowledge about that, it can be considered.
Okay. Please bear with me. It's a one-man production. I don't have the resources to employ additional hands yet. So I'm doing this all by myself. That is why sometimes you see me watching elsewhere. I am trying to share links and respond to other concerns as well as we are doing the live. Okay. Someone is also saying that is Charlotte Asiome. I have a Bachelor of Education in Educational Psychology with a major in English. Do I qualify?
So it has to be Bachelor of Education in Psychology, but it shouldn't be a major in. It should be just like Bachelor of Education in Psychology. There should be no major in, in mathematics or in this or in that. That
Okay,
is what is stated on their website. So maybe I'm going to let me just quickly verify that, and then whilst you keep asking other questions, I'll be verifying that one too as well, so that
sure.
I'll be setting on that.
That is awesome. Sounds good. Okay. The next question I have here is from Docas, Doki. This is Love It. Please, I have a 3-year diploma in nursing and I want to work with deaf people. Please, I have knowledge in American Sign Language, that is ASL. Please, can you help me?
Honestly speaking, I can't do anything about that. If you should have degree, I mean, it would have been helpful. But with the diploma, because with the H-1B, they only looking for degree or higher. So if you have diploma, I mean, you wouldn't meet their qualification.
Okay. Okay. I think all the questions are done here. Please, if you have any question that you want to ask, feel free and leave your question in the comment section of either Facebook or YouTube. I'll get access to it here. I'll display it and I'll ask Kenny for him to respond. If you are watching us live, please, the link has been shared on our various platforms, Facebook, YouTube, that is Twitter and or X. Please do share the link with others to join because this is a very insightful discussion we are having. And it has not ended yet. We are just building up and warming up because we want to actually give the opportunity to a lot of people to ask their questions, a lot of people to also come live to ask their questions so that they will be able to get answers to some of these things because a lot of people have actually fall into the hands of scams and
Yeah,
plus agents all over. But then Kenny didn't use any agent or any agency. He did everything all by himself, do it yourself. And that is why I am bringing him here. He's not taking money from anybody. He's sharing with you how he was able to do it so that
yeah,
you can get the information and you also be able to do it yourself.
yeah.
So, Kenny, a quick one. There are others who just joined us and they want to know if they want to come and work with an H-1B visa in the USA, what is the first step that they have to take?
Okay, so the first step is you have to get a company or an organization that is willing to sponsor you. That is the first thing. If you have an organization that is willing to sponsor you, and when I say sponsor your visa application, that is going to process everything for you. Then you must have a company like that. If you don't have a company, you wouldn't qualify for an H-1B. You wouldn't get the opportunity to come to the US on an H-1B visa. So the first thing is getting an organization that is willing to sponsor your trip to the United States. That's the most important thing.
Okay. So how do we come across some of these organizations? Because it's sometimes tough, but according to you, you did it yourself.
Yes,
And
yes,
you're not
yes,
telling lies because I was also kind of involved when we were doing this whole
yeah,
thing.
yeah,
So tell us, how do we come across some of these opportunities? How do we
yes.
find them?
So as I said, in fact, when you have the privilege to be introduced to just one of such organization, you have to dig deeper and do more research. And by so doing, you'll be able to come in contact with so many of such organizations in the United States. So as I said, once I was introduced to DevRu, I researched a lot and I came, across a lot of organization that work similar to what DevRu, has been doing for many years now. So I don't know if you want me to share some of these companies. I am going to do that right away for others to also take notice
Okay.
of that, and then maybe they can go through their website and send in the applications, and let's see how it all goes. And with this H-1B, you must have patience. If you don't have patience, you wouldn't. You might think that you are wasting your time over there, but then it demands patience because my actually it took like almost 1 year before everything went through. So sometimes you send in the applications, they will respond. They will respond to you that sorry, we are currently not recruiting people from outside the United States or blah 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 blah. That shouldn't discourage you. You have to keep on pressing, and who knows, it can work out for you. So without wasting much time, let me just quickly share some of these um, organizations to your cherished viewers.
Okay.
Esther Seal. So number one is Esther Seal.
So when you are pronouncing it, can you please spell it so that people will also get it as well?
Okay, so Esther Seal. Easters. And
Can you take that again for us?
Easters.
Okay.
Good. So that is the first one that I would love to share. And then the second one that I would love to share is autism. Hold on. Okay, Anderson Center for Autism. Anderson Center for Autism. Anderson, ANDERSON. Center for Autism.
Okay.
Good. And then the next one that I would love to.
Okay. So hold on with that.
Okay.
That too is enough for now. I'll give you the
Okay.
opportunity to add the rest because I want them to stay glued to us till the end of the session.
Yep,
So
that
don't
is
give
true.
out all for
I
now.
won't. That is true.
Okay, so our brother Theophilus
Yay!
has just joined us live now, and I believe he also wants to ask a question or
My
share
boss,
some
my
insight
boss, my boss.
with our listeners. He's one of
Hi.
our bosses in the study abroad journey, and
Yeah,
I
yeah,
respect
yeah,
you a lot.
yeah, yeah. He's,
Come on,
he's a
you're
big
Uh,
welcome.
man.
See, that's why.
Yeah,
And
you're right. You're right.
Yeah, I know. Thank you for accepting me, Kenny.
Good.
Well done. Thank you, and also I appreciate what you guys are doing on this session. Nowadays we don't really have time for this, so it's good that you guys are doing this stuff. So I am not having any like a general question, but I wanted to ask you, since you have been in this journey, you've also passed through, you did the school application and you also did the H-1B. What advice would you give to somebody who is doing school application? And what advice will you also give to somebody who also wants to do the H-1B? What in terms of the process and other stuff? And I know there is this guy who also on our page who also came with H-1B also teaching. I think his is different. The teachers, the ones I think there are some links over there that you just go and apply on your own. How different is that one from yours? That's the question I wanted to ask. And thank you for organizing this section too.
You're welcome, Theophilus.
So with the H-1B, as I said from the beginning, you need to get an organization that is willing to sponsor your trip, that is willing to file for you. But with the J1, I think you need to get a school, a school that is in need of I don't know, maybe special education teachers or mathematics teachers,
Yeah.
and then they would have to process that for you.
Yeah.
So yeah, these are the differences in the two. So it's about getting a school, and then with the H-1B, it's about getting an organization.
Okay.
So these are the little that I can say on that.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
and with the kind of advice, I mean, education US has been of tremendous help to me. That has turned my situation around. Maybe if I had not joined the opportunity and if I had not met the likes of Sly, McBrown, Theo, and the rest, I would have given up on the way. But they were always like, don't give up, keep on pushing, keep on pushing. And then I kept pushing, and here I am today. And every single thing that they post in that group is very, very important. Even if you are not contributing in the group, make sure you pick something from whatever that has been posted in that group. Read and do the research on your own. Do it on your own. Don't rely on them to be feeding you because they are busy people. So whenever they have provided the information is just like a guideline for you. So you just have to add more to what has been provided over there. When I was given the name of the company, the first organization that was given to me, if I had based solely on that, I wouldn't have gotten other organizations. But I said to myself that why don't I, explore more to see more organizations that work similar to what has been given to me. And here I am today. So whatever information that has been provided over there, materials that have been shared over there, make sure you pick them, use them because they are helping, and they have helped a lot of people that I know, and some of them are in the United States as I speak with you now. So if you find yourself in that WhatsApp group, they are not joking over there. Sometimes the message, you might think the messages are too much to read, but if you take your time and you are determined to make it, you will benefit from that group. So that is all that I would have to tell your cherished listeners.
All
So if
right.
you don't have the group now, you have to share for them to join the group. And Theo is doing so much over there. Sometimes he can give it to you, and he's always giving it to you just as it is. He will be blunt and constructive criticism. That is what he
Yeah.
gives over there.
Yeah.
And that will shape you a lot.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
before,
Selling me
before
out.
you
Yeah.
leave us, tell
Yeah.
us what you are studying, the school you are, whether you are on full funding or partial funding.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I'm on a at Wichita State University. I'm on a poll. So I came as a graduate research assistant, and I'm working on a NASA grant research. So that's what I'm doing. That has kept me
What
busy.
program are you taking?
I'm doing biological sciences, but I'm focusing on astrobiology. So I'm doing an astrobiology research.
Big
Okay.
Yeah.
man.
So yeah, that's what I'm doing now, and that has taken my time. So I'll find time and come around.
Sure.
Hopefully I'll finish soon and come around doing
My
sessions.
my
And
next section my next session will be with you, so please.
all right, I'll find time for you guys.
Okay.
All
So
right,
I'm
thank
keeping
you
you
for
on. Okay. Thank you for
everything.
coming out.
All right, thanks.
Welcome. Okay, so I'm giving the opportunity to Meg. Please, if you are listening to us, I've shared the link on all WhatsApp platforms, on Facebook, on Twitter or X. Just click on the StreamYard link. It's actually StreamYard. Click on it. Come live in order to ask your question. Like we've given you the opportunity. Just click on the link. That's the StreamYard link so that you can come live. We'll give you the opportunity to ask your question live because he's with us. You'll not be leaving anytime soon. We still have about 1 hour to go. So I want you to come live and ask your questions. Kenny, let's continue.
Okay. So
Yeah, continue. Yeah.
with the other
Yes,
organizations.
with the other organizations.
Okay. So
Exactly.
where have I got into?
You mentioned two organizations,
Okay.
but
So
I
so
think some people also just joined. So if you can repeat the first two you mentioned.
okay. So you can add Devro to it. I mean, which I gave earlier on.
Okay.
And then
Can you spell that again?
Devro
Okay. Okay.
DEVAUX. Yeah, something like that. I don't know if I should spell it again.
You can
D
take it again.
D D E
Mm-hmm.
Vin E
Mm-hmm.
REAUX.
Okay.
Yes. And
Okay.
then I give Anderson
Opportunity to a lot of yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm listening.
Anderson Autism Center, I think.
Okay.
Anderson Center for Autism. I think I did. I give that one. And I give Extra Sale.
Okay.
Yeah. And then Miracle. I mean MERAKEY.
Okay.
Yes. And then there is
Do you have
another.
do you have more there?
Yes, I do. I
Okay,
mean,
so let's pause here and let me take this question.
okay.
Then you can add additional ones for us.
Okay.
So, okay, from Ankama Matilda. Okay, since Ankama Matilda is here, let me just add her on stage so that Ankama Matilda, if you are listening to me, you need to connect your mic and your camera before I can add you to the stream. So kindly do that for me. Those who are watching on Facebook, I've shared the StreamYard link in the live comment section. You can just click on it, come live, and ask your question. So I think someone is okay. This Meg. Meg, if you can kindly show your camera so that we can see you and you can proceed to ask your question, Meg. Meg. Okay, I think Meg is not ready, so I'm taking her off. Okay, and Kama Matilda, I can see you are here, but you cannot ask your question because. Okay, let me just take your phone. You're ready. I'll bring you back. Okay, Justice. Justice, you are live on TDN now. You can go ahead and ask your question. We can see you. Justice, if you can hear me. Hello, Justice. Can you hear me? TDN now. You can go ahead and ask your question. Hello, Justice.
Hello, yeah, hello.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Right, right. Thank you so much for the wonderful work you guys are.
You're welcome. Oh, I think it's network.
Too bad.
The network. Okay, let me bring Philip Ate on stage. Philip Ate, you are live now.
Yeah, hello.
Yeah, Philip, you can ask your question. Yeah, Philip, go ahead. Ask your question.
Yeah. Oh, actually, mine is only in the form of question, but then I want to commend you guys for the great work. Kennedy, my brother, he's doing very well, and I think
Philip.
I have to applaud him for that. It's a very nice opportunity, kind of enlightenment. So I just applaud him and you guys. God bless you for the good work done. I salute Ken.
Yeah, I can't wait to see you soon.
Exactly. Very soon you see me.
Sure.
Okay, we thank God.
Thank you very much.
So if you have your question, please just look for the StreamYard link. It's either on Twitter, the WhatsApp groups, Facebook, or YouTube. Just look at the comment section, pick the link, and ask your question live. Okay. Assidious, you are live on TDN. Over 150 people are watching you now. Go ahead and ask your question. I think your mic. Can you unmute your mic? Your mic is muted. If you can unmute, I'm trying to unmute. Okay, yeah, you can go ahead now.
I have some. Actually, you could hardly hear me. I have problem with my voice, brother.
But we can still hear you, so proceed.
Actually, my question is, I came in very late.
Okay.
That is, how does it come about organizing documents in order to have the job in the USA? Actually, I came very late. I don't know that of the transcript and then the requirements. So what are some of the requirements?
Okay.
The documents one needs to organize.
Okay.
Before
you take
embarking
your
on
question,
this journey.
please, those who are waiting backstage, I see you all. I'll give each and everyone the opportunity to ask the question because I am here because of you. So just be patient for me. Yeah. Can you continue?
Okay, so as I said from the beginning, if you have an organization that is willing to sponsor your trip or that is willing to file for you, then
Okay.
for the document it's not anything difficult. You only have to have your transcript, your certificate, your resume. I mean, these are the three documents that are vital in the process: your transcript, your resume, and your certificate. These are the documents.
Okay.
So the most important thing is you are able to get a company or an organization that is willing to file for you. So the rest is just about you making available your three documents that I stated earlier on. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So how can he come across some of these organizations, Kenny?
So coming across the organization is, I mean, as I said earlier on, it's quite difficult. But I mean, because of you, I am sharing some of them over here for us to do more research on them. And what you should know is it is not about getting an organization and then instantaneously they've taken you there. As I said, it is patient. So you can get the organization, send in your application, and then you start monitoring how things go. And as I said, it wouldn't be like you sent in your application and instantly you get the offer. It is a process. It is a process. The God factor is also very important. So when you submit your application, you just have to be praying and then everything will just go through. So it's about getting the organization. Just as I am sharing over here, don't rely only on this, but you can also make research on your own. There are a lot of the organizations out there that are doing that, and they normally start the application, or they normally start the recruitment from the month of December, January,
Okay.
January, February. So
Okay.
these are the months that they start with their recruitment. So you can be monitoring these periods. November, December, January. They start the recruitment within these months. Yeah.
And as he said, before we end the meeting, we are going to give you several lists of companies, organizations you can look at who might be willing to sponsor you, provided you fit into their profile.
Yeah.
Okay, so thank you for coming on board. I'm taking it off. Let me add Alfie. Alfie, we are live on TDN. You can ask your question. Alfie. Alfie, you have to turn on your camera. You have to unmute yourself and proceed and ask your question. Okay, since Alfie is not ready. Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
You are live. So proceed and ask your question.
I actually don't have any question. I just wanted to join and get myself enlightened on how things goes. I'm in the US myself.
Okay, so if you can share with us which states are you in?
Yeah, I'm currently in Illinois State.
Are you a student or you're also working?
Yes, I'm a student.
Okay, so Illinois State University or a different university?
No, different university, Blackhawk College.
Okay, and what program are you taking?
Bachelor's degree in nursing.
So how are you able to pay for the program, or you're on a fully funded scholarship?
Oh, actually, I came here at Hampton University on a fully funded scholarship.
Okay.
But due to one or two reasons, I had to transfer here because I had my girlfriend coming in to this university.
Okay. So what advice do you have for people who want to study abroad before I bring the next person on board?
My advice is don't wait to secure a fully funded scholarship before you try to move in here.
Okay.
Just get a school, and once you are able to secure the offer, find any means of getting here. Once you are able to get in here, you will find means of getting your fees sorted, because you can transfer to your community college. As myself, I had a fully funded in my previous school, but currently I'm here paying fees, and it don't cost me more than $5,000 a year.
It doesn't cost you more than $5,000 a year.
Yes.
The name of the college again?
Blackhawk College. Blackhawk College.
Blackhawk College.
Yeah.
So let me just share that. Black as in the normal black we know.
Yeah, Blackhawk College.
And hawk as in the bird.
Yes, HAWK.
Okay, one word.
Blackhawk College.
Is it like together or separate? Is it the Blackhawk?
Separate. Yeah, separate.
Okay, so I'm sharing the name now. Blackhawk College. If you're interested in studying what? You said nursing, right?
Yeah, nursing.
Okay, so anyone who is interested in studying nursing, you can look at the school, Blackhawk College. Our brother says the tuition is very low, so you can apply to that and use that for your visa interview. Thank you, Alfie, and it's nice having you.
You're welcome.
Okay. The next person here is Matilda Ankama. Matilda, you're live. Proceed and ask your question. Yeah.
Okay, so my question was, I completed college 2018, and
Okay.
I have a degree now in social science, which is geography and economics, and I wanted to know if I qualify.
Kenny.
Oh well. Unfortunately, it is not part of the requirement that has been stated over there. It must be a degree that has something to do with human relationship. Human behavior, so to say. So as I said earlier, it should be special education, psychology, social work, guidance and counseling, and maybe sociology. These are the five degrees that are stated on the website. And
That is for
they are,
the H-1B.
yeah, for H-1B.
But is it
But then
Okay.
the H-1B, it depends on the organization that is sponsoring you.
Okay.
So every organization and the requirements they want. So for where I am now, these are the requirements that they are looking for. And the H-1B is not limited to what I am doing now. It is if you can have computer science engineering, and there are companies that are also doing that.
Okay.
So the other day I was just asking chat to list some of the organizations that give H-1B to people with health, maybe nursing degree, and it has given me a lot, but I didn't pay much attention to it because I am already here. So you can also ask chat GTP to list some of the institutions or some of the organizations in the United States that sponsor, people who are or who fall within this category of working population. You'll get a lot of that. Yes,
Okay.
you get a lot of that. Yeah. So it is not only limited to what I am doing now. You can have computer engineering and you get a company that is willing to bring you here. Yeah. So you can also try that and see. It will work out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much.
So Matilda, I'm taking you off now so that I bring the next person.
Okay. Thank you.
Awukubia, you're live now. If you can kindly unmute yourself, turn on your camera, and proceed and ask your question.
Hello.
Yeah, hello.
Yeah, good evening.
Good evening.
My question has been answered. I wanted to find out. I also did Bachelor of Education in Home Economics.
Okay.
But since you've given us the specification, I think that we'll do the research and then work on it.
Sure.
Okay. And even if there is no opportunity for you, you can actually move and come and study your master's or your PhD, which are likely to get a fully funded scholarship when you put in a very good work or when you put in a lot of work. So don't limit yourself to only the teaching. You can actually come and take your master's or your PhD, because with your bachelor's, if the CGPA is very strong, you can get a direct PhD program in the USA. And most PhD programs are fully funded in the US.
That's true.
So you
Thank
can
you.
look. You're welcome. Okay, so the next person that I'm bringing is Philip. Yeah, Philip.
Yeah,
Philip.
hello.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've forgotten to add some few things.
Okay.
I think, well, I want to attest to the fact that what Kenny is doing is a very good work. And then I'm a testimony to what he's saying all over. Like, I think he has actually recommended me to the company that he's working for.
Okay.
Because he knows I also have a background of special education. So I just want to bring that on board so that, kind of authenticate whatever he's saying over here. He's a real gem.
So it simply means you're also going to join Kenny very soon.
Very soon, before the year ends.
Bro, God bless you for doing this for him. God richly bless you.
God bless Ken. God bless Ken.
Anything from him, Kenny?
No, I didn't take anything from him. I didn't take anything from him.
God richly.
He's a big bro. He's a big brother. So.
So,
Yeah, sure.
Philip, once
Sure.
Kenny has given you the opportunity, if God willing, you're able to learn successfully, also give the opportunity to others for free, because he didn't take anything from you.
Exactly.
But I know he's going to reward me in a different way. So.
Oh, exactly.
Okay. People are waiting backstage, so let me bring the next.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. Solomon Ejenim, you are live. You can proceed and ask your question. You are live on TD.
Hello, thank you for this opportunity. I have master's in educational psychology, bachelor's in basic education, and then diploma in basic education as well. Do I qualify for this?
You qualify.
Oh, okay.
You qualify.
I'll be grateful to get some of the agencies and then I apply to them.
Yeah, sure, you qualify. So, I don't know if Sly is going to make provision for people to. I don't know. Maybe you can join the group, Sly's group, and then
I'm in the group. I'm in the
right.
The WhatsApp group with them.
Okay. So I will share my details over there, and then we take it from there.
Okay. I'll be very nice to contact you.
All right.
I'm grateful for the nice work that you guys have done. God bless you.
Okay.
You're welcome, Solomon. Okay, so I'm taking you off.
Okay.
Love it. If you can kindly unmute yourself and turn on your camera so that you proceed.
I wish it's dark. It's dark from my end.
Just proceed and ask your question, please.
So I asked about my 3-year diploma, and I was asking, does it mean that I can't my 3 year diploma in it doesn't mean that I can't even get unless I get a degree in special education before I can do sign language. Because I've googled a lot um, of opportunities, scholarship opportunities for sign language, and it's been difficult. Most of the time, they want somebody that has already has a degree in sign language, and I'm wondering, is there no any company that sponsors somebody or any school that would give scholarship to somebody who would start a degree? Because that's been that is what I've been trying to do. And then
Okay,
for the
so,
past year, the last year, but
so
it's been very, very difficult. Most of the time, they want somebody that already has a degree in sign language, unlike me that has a diploma in nursing. Because I've always had passion in deaf people at a very tender age.
so for the H-1B, it's degree or more, degree or more.
Mm,
So with where you find yourself now, you can just rely on Sly. It's going to take you through the school application. It's going to help you with the school application, and then maybe you go there to do your degree or something like that, and you can
yes,
work.
I tried the school, but most of the time, scholarships are being given to people who have a degree in sign language already. So then they go straight to masters, unlike us.
Mm,
Somebody like me that has just diploma or diploma in this,
right.
or but I'm already in the WhatsApp group.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think one advice I can also give you, since you have the diploma, is you can actually write what we call the SAT, that is the Scholastic Assessment Test or whatever, SAT, get a good score and apply for undergraduate programs in the USA. With a very good score, you can get a fully funded program. Another option, which my brother Theophilus Kobina is asking, is why don't you do a top up? You can actually go in for a top up, do a first degree in Ghana, then we look at using the first degree to look for opportunities, or you look at maybe pursuing your master's or PhD out of the country. So these are the options available to you. Don't just rely on only the diploma. If you can do a top up or if you can take the SAT, just use this time to look for whatever you feel is going to work for you and go in for it. I don't know if you are answered, love it.
So it means that even with the diploma, I can do a top up in masters. I can do a
No.
masters.
So with the diploma, you can actually take your first degree in Ghana. Hope you know that.
Okay.
After
Yes,
taking your
please.
first degree, it opens you up to a lot of opportunities because mostly these job requirements and staffs, mostly they require a first degree, mostly outside the country.
Okay.
Sometimes it's difficult to get it when you hold a diploma.
Yeah.
Alright.
Just do a top up and do well in school. Even if you are done and there is no opportunity for the work, you can still come and pursue your master's or your PhD outside the country, which with that one, you can get a good funding and take your studies without any stress.
Okay. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. I'm taking you off now.
Okay. Sure.
Okay. The next person we have here is Meg. Meg, you are live. You can turn on your camera and ask your question. Please, those backstage, I'll give you the opportunity. I see you all. So just be patient with me, please. Yeah, Meg.
Hello,
Yeah, hello.
good evening.
Yeah, good evening.
It's such a inspirational program. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
What I wanted to know is that I have a bachelor in education. I did psychology, and I majored in English. I wanted to know if I also qualify to teach in the US, teach US program. And then secondly, I'm not part of the WhatsApp group. I was wondering if I could get the link to join the WhatsApp group. Yes, that's my question. Thank you.
Okay.
And also a third question: do I need to write the TEFL or any of the proficiency English tests? Which one do I need to write to be able to um, apply? That's what
Okay, Kenny,
thank
over to you.
Okay. So I think what is really going to help you to clear your mind is the fact that I am sharing to you the organizations that are into this visa sponsorship stuff. So what you would have to do is just go through their website and then read about them. Look for their qualifications or for their requirements. and see if you fall within any of their requirements, and then you can submit your applications, and then you see how it goes. Because I may be giving you an information that it may not be what it is on their website, but if you read and then you submit your application, whatever they tell you, that is what you would have to believe. But sometimes maybe I may not be giving you the exact thing. I don't know if you get what I'm trying to say. So the best thing is you go to the website. I will share with you the companies or the organizations here. You go to their website, and then you submit your applications, and let's see how it goes. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, so
And
those
about
who
the
are
WhatsApp, I hope
the
I'll
link.
be WhatsApp link.
Unfortunately, the WhatsApp group is full, but then on the Telegram group, we have a lot of space there. So those watching us live now, just check the Telegram live, sorry, the Facebook live comment session. You are going to see two links to a Telegram platform there. Just share with your friends and your families so that they join. Those who want to study abroad, those who want to like work abroad. But then remember, we are not an agency. We don't do things for people there. You would have to learn and do it on your own.
Exactly.
So I've just shared the link in the YouTube comment section, the two links for Canada and for USA. Just click on them, join the page, and please, there are rules and regulations. When you go against the rules and regulations, you will be kicked out of the page. So take note of that. So just check YouTube, the live comment session. We have it there, and you put in your application. Sorry, you join and you put in your application. I hope that is very clear. Okay, let me give the opportunity to Awukubia is back again. Awukubia, you can ask your question now. Awukubia, okay, it's not ready.
I don't have any question. I just want
Okay,
to be part
okay,
of it.
okay, okay. Justice, you are live. Kindly unmute your mic and
Right. All right. Right. Good evening.
yeah,
I'm
good
so
evening.
unfortunate. My camera is not that good, but I'll
That's
manage.
fine. We can hear you very loud and clear. So
Right.
proceed and ask your question.
Thank you very much. So I chanced on the links you sent on the platform about 2 weeks ago, and I've done a diligent study. I've done my research. My wife did education in social studies. I'm looking at the qualifications. She doesn't fall within, but with the primary school, is it possible that with social studies she can apply and teach any subjects? That is what I would like to find out.
Kenny, over to you.
Well, as you rightly put it yourself, with the requirement that I have stated over there,
Yeah.
unfortunately, she doesn't fall within that category. But I know people are doing, I mean, the teaching staff, that is the J1 visa. Yeah, there are a lot of people that are doing that. I don't know if there are slots for people with social education, social studies background. I don't know if there are slots for that. So maybe I would have to ask those that I know are into that and see if we will get anyone that is doing that, and then maybe I will share that in the group for all of us to have it. Thank you.
Okay. So let me give the opportunity to Gold King. We can hear you. You are live on TD and proceed and ask your question, please. I think we have a challenge with this network. Okay. So Justice is back again. Justice, do you have any question to ask? Or do you
I'm
have
here
any?
again. It's like I'm here.
Okay.
Question back on.
Yeah, you can proceed, please. Yeah, Justice, you can proceed and ask your question, please. Okay, I think he has a network challenge. So please, we are still giving the opportunity for people who want to ask their questions live. The link is in the YouTube comment section. The link is in the Facebook. That is my personal page, Sylvester Delali TDN. The comment section live is there. And on Twitter or X, the link is also there. StreamYard. Just look for it, StreamYard. Click on it, enter the studio, and we'll give you the opportunity to ask your questions. Whatever is bothering you, we will respond to them before we wrap up the session. Felix Obu, you are live on TDN. Go ahead and ask your question, please.
I think Nanaya, well, the Kenny is my brother. And,
Yeah.
whenever we were doing this process, I think I was involved and also I knew something about it. But I guess that that that's how it is. So I don't want to go further. But my question is that I have a degree in management education. That is business management. So it's more related to that is economics. So for now, I'm teaching economics in one of the high schools in Ghana. So I don't know some of the organizations or agencies that maybe can help some of us that have certificate in business side that maybe we can get employed over there. So that's my question I want to ask you. Can you think maybe you can also do something about that?
Okay. So, Felix, thank you. I mean, thank you for your support. In fact, as I indicated earlier on, with the requirement that I put out there, unfortunately, business management does not fall within that category. But then also, if you are not able to use the H-1B route, I believe you can use the F1 route, which would also benefit you a lot. So since Lai is also there, the WhatsApp group is also there. He has a lot of materials on his YouTube channel. You can follow on those materials, and then maybe you can submit in your application for the F1, and let's see how that one also goes. But for now, I do not have any organization that are into business management or whatsoever. So when I get something, I'll let you know. But I think you have to try the F1 route. That one is also going to help you a lot.
Okay. And if you want to join the pages, the WhatsApp page is full, but just check through Facebook or YouTube, the live comments. I've shared both links there. That is the Telegram pages for Canada and for USA. We are not limiting it to only those who want to work abroad.
Yeah.
Even if you want to study abroad, join that platform. There are a lot of resources there. Theophilus says what? We have a video recorded for business students
Yeah.
who want to use the school application route. You can join the Telegram page. It has been pinned. Go through the video and it will help you to know where to start from. Even if not work, at least you can get a scholarship to study abroad. So let's also explore the opportunity as well.
Oh yeah, all right. Very excited. Thank you very much, sir.
You're welcome, bro.
Okay, the next person here is Cyber Ghost.
Hey,
Cyber Ghost, you can go ahead and ask your question if you have any, please. I don't know if his network. Okay.
he's a ghost, so maybe he doesn't want us to look at his face.
Okay, Solomon Ajanim, you are live on TDN.
Yeah,
Kindly unmute
yeah,
yourself and ask your
yeah.
question.
Thank you for the opportunity again.
You are
I
welcome.
I came earlier on to ask a question, but I want to answer the one question that somebody asked about the wife studying social studies. She can use J1 and then the H1B as well. When this agency, Savannah Chatterham, so she has to do her foreign evaluation credentials either with WES or Spantran and then do the application. So they
Okay.
do accept the social studies.
Okay. So can you spell the name of the organization for us, please?
As Savannah Chatterham in the US, they
S
do this
S A. Can you spell it?
H1B.
I'm typing it so that I'll display it for our listeners.
It's
Network. Uh,
SA
SA. Hello. Hello. Mm-hmm.
SAVA.
Uh-huh. Continue. Okay, I think we're having challenges with this network. But then he says what? Is it Savannah Chatterham or something like
Yeah,
that?
something like that. Yeah.
So if you found the name, right?
No, I am trying to get it, but I haven't found it yet.
Okay, Savannah. Oh, I think it's network. I'm also trying. I didn't get the second name correctly. That is my
Okay, I think I've gotten it.
okay.
Savannah Chatham County Public School. I don't know if that is what he's talking about, but I've seen Savannah Chatham County Public School.
Okay, because he was speaking about J1, so I'm sure that
Yeah,
is the name
yeah,
of the
yeah,
school.
yeah,
Okay, so
yeah.
can you spell that for me?
Okay, so Savannah
Mm-hmm.
SAVANNAH.
Okay.
And then the Chatham is CHATHAM.
CHATHAM. Okay.
Yeah, and then Counting School, Counting Public School, Counting COUNTY.
Public
Yeah,
school.
school. Yeah,
Okay. So I'm just displaying that now so that
and
have a
and
look at it. The name
yeah,
is on the screen, Savannah Chatham County Public School. So our
yeah,
brother was saying that with the J1, you can actually look at the school. So
yeah.
anyone who is interested in applying to come and work as a teacher in the USA, you can look at the name of this school. Our brother just shared it. And please, when you visit the website, actually spend enough time to read more and get more information, because most of these websites, they have detailed information whereby you get answers to most of your questions. So when you visit there, just take your time and surf through the website to get whatever information you need to get. Aside this, just use Google to search for other opportunities that are available. Okay, my good brother sits on my ground. He's a student, a current student at Concordia University in Canada. We
Big
actually
man,
came to Canada together. He has been a very good friend, actually.
like bro.
You're welcome, McGraw.
Thank you so much for this opportunity. Actually, I came to Canada because of Sly. Yes, he has been the backbone, the brain behind all this. Yeah.
We know. Proceed with
Um.
the question, please.
So you were talking about special education and all that. Let's say if someone has bachelor's degree in basic education and is the person is teaching, and some of these Ghanaian schools, some of them has these people with like disability or like intellectual impairment in, especially those in rural areas. Like, do you think the person will be able to apply for these programs in special education stuff?
Yes, I think I mean they can apply, because I mean basic education is related to special education. It is related to psychology. It is related to sociology and the rest. So I think they can submit the application, and there is no harm in trying. That is what I believe. You can submit your application, and then you wait for what they would have to tell you. But maybe if you fold your arms without sending in the application, you may be there, and someone with that qualification will go, and then you may say, "Oh, I should have done this." So it is better to give a try with that, and then you see the outcome. If you submit your application and they tell you that, "Oh, unfortunately, I mean, we are looking for more competent or more people with more specific qualification," then you know that you have at least tried your best and it just didn't go out for you. So I would advise that people with basic education, they also give a try, because after all the requirements that have been put over there, it says all it related. They added that to it. Sometimes they cannot list all the requirements, but they will just tell you all it related. So you can just give a try. Yeah, that is
So,
what.
with if your degree is not in education, let's say you did but BSc in psychology, you still don't qualify.
It should be in education. Per what is on their website, it should be in education, because they
So
need they
what
want
if?
someone with education back.
Okay.
What if that is so? The what if
Okay,
is
but Kenny, you are talking in relation to where you are working.
where I am working.
Okay.
Okay.
Where I am working. Yes, in relation to where I am working.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but
Okay.
as I said, there is no harm in trying. You can just give a try. Sometimes it is your experience that matter. Yeah, your experience matters. So if you give a try, they go through your resume and they have realized that even though you do not have an educational background, but you have psychology, but then you have worked with people like this, they can consider you. Once your profession or your career has been centered on, I mean, special people, you can be considered despite the fact that you don't have education background, but you have psychology.
Okay.
Yes.
Is it
So all
possible to? Okay.
excuse me,
Yeah.
all that I am saying is centered to where I am currently working.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Understandable.
Okay.
Yeah. So is it possible to provide, uh, like how long did it take you from starting the application for, I mean, the company you are working to up to the time you had your visa? How long did it actually took you?
It took me about 7 months. Yeah, it
That's
took me
quite
about
long.
yeah, it's quite long. It took me
Eh,
about 7 months.
And with the reimbursement, you made mention that you had it in the US, so it means they paid you in US dollars. They did
Yeah,
not give you Ghana cedis.
they didn't give me Ghana cedis. They paid me in US.
Okay, okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
That's fine. Thank you.
Okay.
But
That's my
it's
question.
it's it's equivalent. It's
Okay,
equivalent to the CD. Yeah.
so you have to factor in um depreciation, those
Yes, yes, yes,
fluctuations,
yes, yes,
stuffs.
yes,
Okay,
yes, 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 yes.
Okay.
okay.
So
Thank you
I'm
so
taking
much.
you off now
All
from
right.
the video.
And excuse me, and when you go to the embassy, you pay everything, and all the currency is quoted in dollars.
Okay.
So
Okay.
every payment that you make over there, even though you are not paying with dollars, but then it is quoted in their currency.
Okay.
So on the receipt that will be given to you, it has the dollar symbol or the dollar currency on the receipt that will be given to you. So you would have to send the receipt to them, and then
Okay.
they have it on their, at their desk. That is how it is. Yeah,
Okay. Okay. Thank you so much.
you're welcome.
Welcome.
Background.
Okay. So if you're watching us now, we are live and we are with our brother who got the opportunity to come to the USA with an H-1B visa. He's currently working as a rehabilitation counselor in New Jersey. He's sharing his experience. He actually didn't use any agency or agent. He virtually did everything all by himself. And if you just joined, we have the StreamYard link in the comment section for our YouTube, on Twitter, and on Facebook. Just look for the StreamYard link, click on it, join live, and ask your question because we still have Kenny with us. Whatever is bothering you about this whole process, join live, ask your question so that he'll respond to you before he leaves. And if you're wondering where he's teaching, the organization that sponsored him to get to the US is called Meraki. That's what I've displayed on the screen now. Merakey. And according to him, they didn't take anything from him. And even the money that he spent when he got to the US, he was reimbursed. Did they reimburse your flight ticket as well?
No, no, unfortunately, they didn't reimburse my flight ticket.
Okay, so let's talk about cost.
Okay.
In total, please, those who are backstage, I see you all. Just hold on. I'll be bringing you live to ask your question. I just want to ask him this question before I come to you. In all, how much did you spend?
In the application, right?
Yes, in the
Or in
application and the visa process. In all.
Okay, so in all, I would say the application, the visa process, excuse me, including the reimbursement.
We'll come to the reimbursement, but in all, before you were
So in,
reimbursed, how
in
much did you
all,
spend in
in
all?
all, I would say I spent not more than 10,000 Ghana cedis.
Not more than
More than
10,000
10,000 Ghana cedis. Yeah, no more
before
than
getting to
10,000
the USA,
to the US. Not more
excluding
than
your flight ticket.
excluding my flight ticket.
Okay, so what were the expenses you made, if you can?
So I mean, some of the expenses were even irrelevant, because I thought those things were going to be needed, but
Okay.
they were irrelevant. But so, what did I do? I mean, the way. So let me say the MRV, which was reimbursed, and so I would say that the money I spent on this whole thing is even less than 10,000 Ghana cedis because virtually I've not paid anything. I've not paid anything. The only thing that I would say, the only money that I have paid the reciprocity fee and then the MRV, which was eventually reimbursed into my account. But I have not paid anything. As I said, the other expenses were just irrelevant expenses because I thought, I may need those things, some photocopies and other stuff. They were all irrelevant. So virtually for the H-1B, you don't spend much. You don't pay anything for unless you are dealing with an agent who is going to tell you that I am going to sell the slot that I have, I'm going to sell that one to you. And with that, the agent is going to do the applications and everything for you.
Okay.
But if you are doing everything yourself, all you need is your mobile phone and your internet. You are good to go. you wouldn't have to pay for anything because you are dealing directly with the organization. So all you'd have to do is just to submit your applications and then you wait for whatever they tell you to do and then you do. So basically, I spent less than 6,000 Ghana cedis, excluding the flight and then the reciprocity fee. I spent less than 6,000 Ghana cedis on the application and other stuff.
Okay, so people just joined us now and they might be interested in some of the organizations which they can get some of these sponsorships from for their H-1B visa. So if you can give us a list of some of them.
Okay, so I'm going to start again from where I started from. So I mentioned DevRu, and
So
then I
if you
mentioned
can spell that.
DEVEUX.
Okay.
REUX.
REUX. Okay.
And then Extasio.
Can you
And
spell?
all these things, all these organizations are behavior, health organizations.
Okay.
So Extasio, EASTER,
EAS.
yeah,
A
T T E
EASTA.
no EAS
Mm-hmm.
TERSEAL.
Okay. Mm-hmm. SE. AL.
Yes.
Okay.
Then we have benchmark.
As in the normal benchmark.
Yeah, benchmark.
One word.
Yeah, one word.
Okay.
Benchmark.
The mark is MARK, right?
MARK, yes.
Okay.
And then we have Melmark.
Can you spell that?
Melmark, MEL
MEL
MARK.
NARK.
MEL
Okay.
MARK.
NARK. Okay. Mm-hmm.
MEL
M for mango.
Yeah, for mango.
Okay. I've gotten that. The next
All right.
one.
Then we have Jawonio.
Mm-hmm.
JAWONIO.
Okay.
NIO.
NIO.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Then we have
JAWONIO.
yes. Then
Okay.
we have the New England Center for Children.
New England
The New England Center for Children.
Center for Children. I'm actually typing to display it on the screen for
Sure.
our followers and our listeners. Okay.
Great. And then
Yeah.
and then we have Children Home Society of Florida.
Children Home
Society
of
Florida.
Florida. Okay.
And then we have Anderson Center for Autism.
The Anderson is ANDOSN.
Yes.
Center for Autism.
Yes.
Okay. Autism.
Yes.
Okay.
And then we have Autism Learning Partners.
Autism
Learning Partners.
Okay.
And then we have Miraki.
Okay, where you are currently?
Yeah.
Okay.
Miraki. So these are the organizations that I have so far. So if there is anyone listening out there, you can also try and go to their website, read about them, and then you submit your applications. You never know. Maybe that's where your luck is going to shine. Thank you.
Okay, so I have the organizations displayed on my screen. I wouldn't be taking it off anytime soon. So if you're watching us live, take note of these organizations. And what do you do? Okay, so what do they have to do with this name? Tell us, what do they have to do with these names you've given to us?
So just go to their website and then click on career.
Actually, there are people who don't know even what to do to go to their website. So if you can
go to Google Chrome.
Okay.
And the search engine box, you type any of these names over there.
Okay.
So when you search, you go to their career. You can when you type, just you can type the name of the organization and then you add career to it.
Okay.
Career to it. Just add career to it. So it will take you, or career opportunity. It will take you directly to where they have displayed their positions.
Okay.
Or their vacancies. Then you can read through their vacancies, and then you submit your application. So that is what I. So you go to Google Chrome, in the searching box, search engine box, just type any of the names over there, extra sale career opportunities, and then you click on it, and then you go to the website, read about their career openings, and then you see if you fall within any of the, I mean, positions that has been listed over there. Then you just submit your application and you'll be good to go. You've got permit.
Okay. So
Yeah.
if you are watching us live now, we have over 250 people across all platforms, and our highest views comes from Twitter actually. Twitter
That's
followers, thank you very much. God bless you. And thank you to all the Facebook and YouTube followers as well. Please, if you are watching now, all that I'll ask you to do is kindly go to YouTube, type the name, the Delali Network, and just hit on the subscription button for me. Aside bringing people live on board, I create video and content on how to study abroad as well, how to work abroad for all countries. I just began this for the YouTube, and now I'm asking that you give me all the necessary support, like push this and let it grow big, because I'm just using my own resources, no support from anywhere. And this is done actually for free. No one wants to take any money from you. Just take your time, follow us, and you get the information to succeed. Because a lot of people have actually succeeded on our various platforms on Telegram and WhatsApp. And if you are new here, please just go to the comment section for the YouTube or the Facebook. The Facebook, I'm live on Sylvester Delali TDN. Look for the link for the Telegram platform, both for Education USA, both for Canada. Join, a lot of information there, and you can also start something from that place. You don't necessarily need an agent or an agency, but if you have the money, it's not bad to also pay for someone who is an expert to take you through the process. Okay, I have a question here before I'll bring my online people who want to come and ask their question. Hi, senior. I have BA in sociology and diploma in education. I have taught for 6 years in a high school. Please, do I qualify to teach in the US school?
well. You per where I am, I think you meet the qualification. That is what I am currently doing. You meet the qualification because sociology is part of the requirements. So you meet the qualification, and with your diploma in education, that can even support, and you make things quite easy for you. So where I am standing and from where I am working, I think you made a qualification.
But as to whether they are recruiting currently or not,
Currently, they are not recruiting. As I said earlier on, they did the recruitment earlier, I think before. So it has come to an end. So the next recruitment is going to come in November. But you can submit your applications. They may put it on file. You keep on hitting them. You keep reminding them. And that was what worked for me. So you just have to submit your applications. When they respond to you, just try and then create that rapport, between you and that person that has responded to your email. And then when they start recruiting people, they will just get back to you, and it will just work out for you.
okay. So before we continue, I have three people online who want to ask their question. Please, I'll call you. You unmute your mic, your camera, and ask your question. So Raf, can you come in for us and ask your question? Since you've used the StreamYard link, I know you want to ask your question live. If you can just unmute yourself and ask your question, Raf. Okay, since Raf is not ready, I'm giving the opportunity to Justice. Justice.
Yeah, Fly. Thank you so
Yeah.
much. I'm back again.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask a question and permit me to digress a bit.
Okay.
Pertaining to F1 visa. In
Okay.
fact, with your help, I've been able to get admission to Baylor University with 56% scholarship. I've also given a loan from Empower. But recently, I've been reading international news concerning international student visa, how their visas are being revoked. So I'm a bit scared. I just want to defer for next year and see how things will go. What would be your advice? Because what is happening there, I don't know. I'm
Okay.
not too sure about it. Yeah.
So my
I need
advice
to.
would be simple. Please, can you hold on? Yeah. My advice would be simple. Once you have a legal status in the USA and you are adhering to the rules and regulations or the terms and conditions of your visa, I don't see it to be a problem. There will always be change in government after a couple of years. They'll bring their policies. But once they've not said, oh, we are closing our doors to international students, I would ask that you give it a shot if you have the resources. But you also have to ensure that once you get approval, you have to adhere to the conditions and the terms of your student visa or your permit or whatever. Because if you
Exactly.
don't adhere, you might end up getting issues with the authorities or immigration people.
Exactly. Exactly.
So even
All
with what
right.
is going on, I
So,
advise that
uh-huh.
still go ahead if you can and do your interview.
I've not gotten a date yet to go for MIV. That is the challenge, another headache.
You've not gotten what?
And we are still hunting though. I'm still hunting.
Yeah, for the date,
I'm still hunting for a
you
date.
always have to hunt. You join date hunting groups, dawn,
Yeah.
evening. Like you just have to join those groups and do the date hunting. You surely get a date, so don't worry about that.
Yeah. Thank you. My next question has to do with the J1 and the HB visa. What's the difference?
Okay, Kenny, over to you. He's asking the difference between the J1 and the H1B, if you know anything about that,
Okay,
especially
H1B,
so
yeah.
the
so
J1.
so the H-1B visa is basically a visa that you need to have an organization here in the USA that is willing to file for you or that is willing to sponsor you to this place. So it's going to be on a contract base. So they will give you a 3-year contract, after which you'll be qualified for another 3 years. But then after the first 3 year, you'll be qualified to work on your green card. So that is for the H-1B. And for
Okay.
the J-1 visa, I mean, chat AI will tell you that it's more or less like a visitor's visa. That is for the
Okay.
JY, for the J1. So that one, you also come here, you teach. I mean, and they call it exchange program. So you come over here, you teach for a number of years, and then you come back to your home country, wait for another 2 years before you can come back to the United States of America. But if your contract expires over here, you have a mandate of renewing it, after which you would have to come back to your home country, wait for a period of 2 years before you can come back to the United States with either the J1 or different other visa. So that is how that is the difference between the two. I don't know if it is clear.
Yes. Yes. One more question, then I'm done. Pertaining to the US teach. If maybe you did a bachelor's in education and you want to apply for teaching in primary level, can you apply with no specialization, or even with a specialization, can you apply to the primary level whereby you can teach any subjects?
With the J1, right?
No, with the B1, what's a 1H,
The H1B.
H1B rather, yeah,
Yeah, okay.
H1B.
So as I said, with the H1B, I mean it depends on the organization that is sponsoring you and the kind of work that they would want you to come and do for them. So if
Okay,
maybe you get the organization and they need people to come and teach for them, then they would have to place you at where they want you to be, provided you meet their
okay,
qualification. So if they want you to teach in the basic level or whichever grade, then they would have to put you over there. So you are coming to work for them. So it is where they want you, where they have loopholes. That is where they want you to come and cover. So you can't be in Ghana and say maybe like you get it and then you are going. In fact, myself when I came, I thought I was going to go to the classroom whilst I was doing the application. I thought I was going to go to the classroom, but when I got to
okay.
this place, it's a different thing altogether. So it is when you get here that they will assign you to where there are loopholes, and then they will want you to cover those loopholes. So that's what I would
That
have to
means
say.
they are going to train you before.
Come again?
They will train you.
Yes.
They
So
will
when you
give you
get
a training to
yes,
fit
when you
in
get
there.
here, when you get to this place, these people, when you get here, no matter your experience, you go through orientation. So when I go here, I went for 1 month orientation on the field. and then out of the field orientation. So that was how 2 weeks, 2 weeks. That was how it
Oh,
all.
okay.
No matter
Okay.
your
Oh,
experience,
okay.
you can be trained. Yeah.
Justice, I have other
Right.
people
So,
on stage. I'm taking you off
uh,
now. Caroline, you can kindly unmute yourself and also your camera and ask your question, please. You are live on TDN. You are live on the Delali network, Caroline. Okay, since Caroline is not ready, let me give the opportunity to Ujo. Ujo, Ujor, Ujo. You can unmute yourself, your camera, and ask your question. Okay. Ujo is also not ready. Let me give the opportunity to. Okay, Ujo. Yeah, Ujo, you can come in.
Okay. Okay. Good evening. Good evening, sir, from Nigeria. Thank you very much for this educative section. Actually, what I want to ask, I was given admission in Texas A&M University,
Okay.
Kingsville.
Okay.
So the grad coordinator told me that when I get on campus, before I'll be given a teaching assistant or any research assistant.
Okay.
So I don't know whether I should proceed on the admission or maybe try to get my I-20, or I should wait and get a fully funded before I come over.
Okay. So my advice will be simple. If you know you can get your visa without any funding situation, I'll ask you to go for it since you've gotten a kind of assurance that once you land on campus, you have the opportunity to apply for assistantship opportunities. And mostly that happens. Some people that we've helped, the school gave them assurances or their supervisors gave them assurances that they can only get assistantship when they land on campus. Fortunately for them, when they went for the interview with like an Empower loan or just a bank statement, some of them had their visas approved. And when they got to campus, truly to the worst of their supervisors, they applied for the assistantships and they were given one. So if you have the assurance, like that firm assurance, they are going to get assistantship, then I advise that you can prepare and go in request for your I-20. That is the certificate of eligibility, and prepare and go in for your interview. But then acing the interview too is a different step because going to the embassy without funding is it looks very tricky. I don't know whether your school is part of the Empower supported institutions or not, but you can
It's
look.
not part of it. It's not part of it.
Good. So that is where it's a little bit technical. If you can get a bank statement and you can convince the officer at the embassy, I advise you go in for it. If not, work around getting other opportunities or still talk to your supervisor. Let them know that you need the funding to get a visa because the situation in Africa is different. Since they are saying you qualify and they are giving you the assurance, even if not everything, if they can give you something 50 or 60%, just for you to present at the embassy, it will be very, very helpful in your case. So you can try that as well. Kenny, I don't know if you have anything else to add.
Oh, I do not have. I think you've said it all.
Okay. So, Ujo, I don't know if
Okay.
you have been answered.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm very satisfied. Thank you very much.
Okay, so I'm taking you off now. Caroline, you have the opportunity to ask your question. So kindly unmute yourself, your camera, and ask your question. I'm also bringing, okay. Oakley Isaac, you can go ahead and ask your question. I think Caroline is not ready, so you can go ahead and ask your question. Oakley Isaac.
Headmaster.
Yeah, Isaac, we can see you and your mic is your mic is unmuted. You can go ahead and ask your question or whatever you have to say, you can go ahead and say it. You are live. We have over 250 people watching you, so please proceed.
Hello.
Hello, we can
Good
hear you.
evening.
Good evening.
Yeah, good evening. Yeah, King Kenny.
Mr.
Oh,
Oakley.
I just don't have yeah. Please, how are you doing?
I'm doing good, sir.
Great. Oh, good job. I just want to recommend you for the good job you are doing. God
Thank you.
bless you.
Amen, bro. And that was my headmaster, you know.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you very much, boss.
I know he's proud of you wherever he is.
Yeah, I know, right? Thank you so much, boss.
Okay.
Thank you.
So if you just joined us, the names of some organizations you can look at to teach in the US for an H-1B. We have the Devro, we have Estasil, Benchmark, Melmark, Jawonio New England Center for Children, Children Home Society of Florida, Anderson Center for Autism, Autism Learning Partners, and Miracle. And Miracle is actually the place where Kenny is working at currently. So you can just Google this organization's app, and there are other more which you can come across when you do some searches all by yourself. Kennedy, you can go ahead and ask your question. Kindly unmute yourself and your video as well and ask your question. Okay, since Kennedy
Yeah,
is not
I'm here. I'm here. I'm here. I'm
okay,
here.
yeah,
Namesake.
Yeah, hello.
yeah, we can hear you. Continue. Please ask your
Right.
question.
Thank you so much. Ken, God bless you.
Amen, bro.
Right. So kindly, I tried searching for your institution on Google right now, and I'm getting ADP or something. I don't know if it's the same company or you can kindly help us with the website of Miracle, please.
Okay, so you when just type the name Miracle, Miracle Careers. When you type Miracle Careers, it will take you directly to their website. Okay, so it will come like this. I would like to. So this is it. I don't know if you can see.
No, I can't see. Can you bring it closer to the cam? Yes.
I'm just trying to
Miracle
see.
Careers. Okay. But can you please open it? Can you
Okay,
open the link? I
that
want
is
to
fine.
see the.
I will do that.
Okay, so I'm sharing the link live in the YouTube section. King, you can just check it out if that is it.
Okay.
Very well. Very
I've
well.
displayed it on the screen now. Is that the link?
Uh, yes, exactly.
So that is the link.
Miracle
Just look at
Careers.
that and yeah.
So when
Okay.
you go there, you see
Okay.
check current job openings, then check application status, internship opportunities, find that hiring. So you just have to check it and then you are good to go. That is it.
Very well. Very well. Very well.
Okay.
Grateful.
You're
So
welcome.
Kennedy. So Ken, considering the H-1B, which you didn't pay anything, and considering the F1, which you were going in with an Empower loan, out of the two, which one would you say would have been helpful since you've gotten the opportunity to taste the H-1B?
The H-1B any day. I mean the H-1B any day, because it comes with a lot of benefits.
Okay.
As I said earlier on, after the 3 years, you qualify for a green card. You start processing your green card.
So is it
So it
like
comes,
automatic, or once you apply and
yes,
make
yes.
assignment?
Once you are 3 years in the jurisdiction, you can start working on your visa with your. You can start working on your green card. So that is it. That is about the H-1B. So it comes with a lot of benefits. So the H-1B any day, anytime. That is what I would say.
Okay.
Yeah.
What are some of your duties as um, what do we call it?
A rehabilitation counselor.
A rehabilitation counselor. What
So,
are some
so
of
the,
your
the, the, the duty would just be put in one sentence or something like that. It's just practically about helping people with special needs to live an independent life.
okay?
So sometimes you just help them to, do certain things that they are not able to do on their own. Sometimes you take them for a walk, you take them for a training and so on and so forth. So basically, that is what we do over here. But then it has a lot of units. Where I work, there are a lot of units. I mean, some are in the classroom, and then some of them too, or some of us are also not in the classroom. But then we take them on a walk. We help them to live an independent life. So basically, that is what I say. It's all about helping them to live an independent life.
Okay.
Yeah.
Working in the USA, considering the living expenses, how has it been like your rent, your feeding, if you quantify it and match it with your earnings? Is it far better than when you were in Ghana?
It's way better than when I am in Ghana. Way better than when I am in Ghana. Yeah, that for that I can say on a fact that it is way better than I am or I was in Ghana. Way better. It can never be compared. There is no way you can, even though, I mean, the living condition over here is not that easy. Looking at the fact that you pay bills, and the bills are very expensive. They are very expensive over here.
Okay. So talking about bills, in a month, roughly how much do you spend?
Okay, so in a month, unfortunately, where I am staying, I am not staying in um, an expensive place, I will put it. But in a month, I pay about thousand $1,003 yeah in a month.
That
Thousand
is
three
for only rent.
yeah for rent and car insurance and other stuff.
Okay, so
Yes.
roughly your total expenses, including
Expenses,
including feeding,
including feeding,
like
thousand
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 three hundred US
yeah,
dollars.
$1,300.
Okay, and
Yeah.
aside that, you are able to save something too
It's
for rainy days.
absolutely,
Okay.
absolutely. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
How do you compare the working environment in USA with the situation back home in Ghana?
The working environment over here is I mean there is a vast difference.
Okay.
These people don't joke with their time, and they are very particular about whatever activity that goes on at the workplace. And the
Okay.
least mistake, you are fired. So you have to be very, very smart on whatever that you are doing,
Okay.
and be particular about the kind of people that you are working with. For the fact that they are special people, and I mean less attention is given to them way back in Ghana, it is not like that over here. Those people are people that the government pay very much, I mean, concerned. They are very much concerned about these people. So working with them is very, very, very challenging and very demanding. But I am a special educator. That has been the profession that I was doing before I came to this place. So it's more or less like something that I already psyched myself up before I embraced the challenge. So working over here is very demanding. Unlike Ghana, Ghana, we are always like a dicey car when it comes to government work or whatsoever. But for this place, you can't bring that attitude over here. You always have to be smart on the job. Other than that, you'll be fired. And you are fired today, there is a replacement for you the next day. So you always have to be very smart and alert on whatever that you do over here. Yeah. And time factor, they don't joke with their time. They don't joke with their time. Yeah. That is
Okay. We have over 300 people.
it comes with a lot of benefits. As working over here comes with a lot of benefits. For that, I won't lie to you. It comes with a lot of benefits and motivation. Unlike in Ghana, you would kill yourself, but at the end of the day, it is only what you get at the end of the month. That is what you get. But for this place, there are a lot of benefits attached to whatever that you do over here. So it's quite, I mean, amazing working over here.
Okay, so how many years were you issued with the visa?
I've 3 years.
3 years.
Yes.
So what happens after the 3 years?
So after the 3 years, the company would renew that for you if they still want to work with you.
Okay.
If they don't want to work with you, the contract is over. But as I said from the beginning, you might have qualified for a green card, so you can find a way to get lawyers, and they will do your green card for you.
You
If
see,
they
after
don't,
working with them for how many years, then you
for
can
three
apply
years,
for 3 years. Okay.
3 years, for
For
three
two
years,
2 years.
3 years.
Three. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, for 3 years. Then they will start working. It is the same company that would work on your green card for you if you still want to be with them.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, but once you are here, when you get the opportunity, you can also upgrade yourself, and then maybe if you want to leave the company, you will leave the company. But with that, it's one thing about the H-1B. If you are on H-1B and you are working for the organization that brought you here, you can't work for any other organization again. So you have to be loyal to them. You can't work for any other organization. And let's say you are to work in, let's say, Kaswa campus, but then the organization has other campuses in Medina, Teshi, or whatsoever. What they have put on your approval notice, which is the Kaswa campus, that is the only place that you would have to work. You
Okay.
can't work in any of the other houses in different places. And as I said, you can't work for any other organization as well. You can only work for any other organization if you leave that company that brought you over here.
Okay.
And when you are leaving, then it means your contract with them is over. Or you did something and you've been fired. which you wouldn't want to do that. So you have to be loyal to them. So that is how it is over here.
Okay.
So if you are work, if you bring me here and I'm working for you, there is no way I can do any other job somewhere. You see, a lot of people come here and then they tell you they are doing about three different works, but for the H-1B, you can't do that.
Okay. In terms
Yeah.
of working hours, are you limited or you have unlimited number of working hours?
Okay, so the working hours, it is 80 hours a week.
80 hours a week.
Yes, 80 hours a week.
Okay.
Yes, 80 hours. So no, 80 hours in 2 weeks. So every
Okay.
week, yeah, 80 hours in 2 weeks. So every week is 40, 40, 40. So 80 hours in 2 weeks.
Okay. What is the
Yeah.
minimum wage for New Jersey? You work in New Jersey, right?
Yes, I work in
What is
New
the
Jersey.
minimum wage
I
there?
think the minimum wage it's around $14 per hour. 14, 15 hour, dollars per hour. That is the minimum wage for New
Okay.
Jersey.
And
Yes.
considering the cost of living in New Jersey, I know you've not been there for a year now, but for about 6 months now. How do you see the cost of living as compared to like other
It's
places?
in fact I am staying in Pennsylvania, but I go to work in New Jersey.
Okay.
But per what my colleagues over there say, I think it's quite okay. I mean, the living condition over there in New Jersey is okay. But for Philly or for Pennsylvania, I mean, it's more or less like the place is more or less like there are places in Philadelphia or Pennsylvania that is more or less like you are in Accra. So I mean, the living condition things are not much expensive in Pennsylvania. And Pennsylvania, I am in Philadelphia, but the state is Pennsylvania. But I am in Philadelphia, and Philadelphia, things are not too expensive in Philadelphia. So you see people from New Jersey coming to Philadelphia to buy stuff, and and they go back to, especially the African brothers, they come to Philadelphia to buy things, and then they go back to New Jersey. So the living condition in terms of, I mean, food stuff and other things is quite okay over here. Yeah.
Okay. So Kennedy is saying that the last is let him know that the company keeps rejecting the zip code of either 000 or 00233. I am done filling an application, but I
Oh,
submit due to zip code issues. If you can clarify that.
so just okay. And he said he added 00233 and it didn't work out.
Yes.
Just with 0233. I think that one is going to work. 0233.
Zero two.
233.
Okay, so let me
Uh,
just project that for him.
yeah.
So with the zip code, Ken says just use 0233. I've projected that for you. So
Yeah.
you can you can use that for the application filling. Okay. Now, Ken, how difficult is it to get this kind of opportunity to come and teach on an H-1B visa in the US, or how easy it is, even if someone has the requisite qualification and tons of experiences? How easy or difficult it is, if you can clarify
It
that.
is, everything goes through a process. So
Okay.
if you're able to get a company that is willing to sponsor you and you are scheduled for an interview and other stuff, you see, if you may have the experiences or you may have the qualifications, but once you are booked for an interview and you are not able to express yourself to them, you wouldn't be taken.
Okay.
So you must be able to convince them during the interview hours what you can do, what you have done. Make sure all the questions that they ask you, you are able to provide answers that has something to do with what they are looking out for from you. So it
Okay.
is not necessary that because there are other people that I recommended, but and not me, even only me, those that I came with, they recommended others after the interview they were not picked. So sometimes during the interview too, you have to be on top of the game so that you can make it over there. And I am here now, so when I recommend you and you are picked for the interview, I'll make sure that I avail myself to you, give you the gist on some of the things, some of the questions that they would ask you, and some of the terms that you used in answering those questions, because those are the terms that we employ and deploy over here in handling. I mean, these people. So if you're able to use those terms, then it may look to them that, oh, okay, you already doing that in wherever you find yourself, and it will make the thing very easy for you. And as my brother Philip, I mean, can attest to that fact. It was so easy for him, and by God's grace, I mean, he'll be joining me very soon.
Okay.
Yes, so that is it.
So, what are some of the interview tips or preparations?
Okay, so they
People,
would
because there are people who are watching us now. Some of
absolutely,
them might have gotten some offers from different organizations, but they are
absolutely.
preparing for their interview. So, what are some of the interview tips they should look at, and what preparation do they need to put in before the interview begins?
Okay, so most definitely they are going to ask you about your experience working with special children.
Okay.
So that one, you have that experience, or you have to share that experience with them. And then they would also ask you if you have had an encounter with a behavior
Okay.
where you would have to attend to that behavior, and what did you do to
Okay.
calm the behavior down?
Okay.
So they are also going to ask you that question, and they would also ask if you have ever unfinished a task that was given to you before,
Okay.
and why was that task not finished.
Okay.
So if you answer yes, you were unable to finish the task, they will ask why was that task not, finished. Then you have to find, reason. I quite remember that I was asked that question and I told them yes, there was a time that I was not able to finish the task that was given to me. They asked me what happened.
Okay.
And I told them that I was in a class and one other student in the other class had a seizure and there was no teacher in the class. They called on me. I had to rush to the scene to assist the victim to recover from the seizure, and that was the reason why I was not able to complete the task. That was so they asked me what did I do to make sure that he came to. So I told them that I had to call for reinforcement. I had to call that college teachers to come and then assist in ensuring that we quickly take him to the hospital. And that was what they asked, and that was what I told them. Then they told me that okay, because certainly you can't. There are some days that you may not be able to finish a task that has been assigned to you. So if you tell them that you always finish a task, that is a complete lie. So and they are always interested in people that are honest. So you always have to be honest with the answers. Even if you are lying, you should lie with honesty. And what I have told them, I have never encountered a situation like that, but that was the answer that I provided. you know it came impromptu. The question came impromptu, but I had to be smart to provide, because there was a student in the school that normally suffer that that predicament, the seizure. So I said, okay, let me just use him as you know um a bait in giving this answer, and it worked out for me. So these are some of the questions that they will ask you. You just have to share your experience, whether you've worked with people. Tell them yes, you work with autistic people. You can even tell them that your uncle or your auntie or whatsoever, has suffered or is suffering from such behavior, and for some years now you have been with him or her, and you have learned a lot about how to manage their situations. They can also ask you, when a child is having a behavior, what do you do to curtail that behavior?
Okay.
So you just tell them that you have to know about what the person likes,
Okay.
and then you try to do those kind of things for the person.
Okay.
So as if you are not able to do that, what do you do? Then you say you call for reinforcement. If you are not able to do that, you have to call for reinforcement. They would also ask you, if you sense something like that, what do you do? Then you tell them that before the behavior comes, they have something they call the de-escalation method. You use the de-escalation method to curtail that situation from occurring. So that is basically some of the things. Those are the things that you have to use to suppress those behaviors from happening. And when you're able to use those terms, they know that, oh, okay, so practically these are the things that you are also doing in where you find yourself, and when you come here, it wouldn't be a problem for you. So this is what I would have to say.
Okay. Okay. So if you are watching us live now, we have over 300 people who are watching us across all platforms on Facebook, on Twitter, and on YouTube. If you have any question, please, we'll be wrapping up in the next 10 minutes. If you have any question, leave it in the comment section. I'll display it for Ken to ask, or just look for the StreamYard link on either the live session of the Facebook, YouTube, or Twitter, and click on it, StreamYard link. Join us live and ask your question so that Ken will respond to your question. We are wrapping up in the next 10 minutes. So please, if you have any question, anything you want clarification on, please, the time is now. Join us now. Okay, Ken. So I was asking, in terms of how easy or how difficult, how can people also get this opportunity in terms of be it being easy or difficult? Looking at your case, it seems it was coupled with grace as well,
Grace did everything.
because you didn't even have to go, you didn't go through any agent or agency.
Again, Grace did everything for me.
So what do people have to do to make this thing like easy for them so that they can also get these opportunities?
Just prepare, pray. I mean, pray when you submit your applications. Just make sure you back it with prayers.
What if I'm not a Christian?
If you're not a Christian, whatever you believe in, you just pray to whatever that you believe in. Yeah, but then also, I mean, you make sure that you present yourself in a way that your application will be appealing to their eyes. When they see your application, they will know that yeah, you fall within the category of what they are looking for. So you make sure that you have a very good resume.
Okay.
Compile the resume, put a lot of things to it, and I mean, if you want to come to where I am coming or where I am, if you want to take this behavioral stuff, then you must ensure that you have in your resume, I mean, where you say you've worked with people living with autism and those with intellectual and developmental disabilities, include all those things into your resume, and it should be detailed. It should be detailed. Let them know that you have the experience in that because that is what they are going to look at. They want people with experience on the job. They want people with experience on the job. So make sure that you have such experience and then you'll be good to go.
Okay.
Yeah.
How has it been adjusting in a new environment in terms of culture, food, accent, that is the language? How has it been?
For the language, sometimes they speak, you don't even get what they are saying, but if you see a smile on their face, you also smile. They
Okay.
speak some of them speak very fast. But I have been very fortunate. Transitioning from Ghana to this place has been so easy for me. I mean, I don't know, but I think as I said earlier, Grace has done everything for me. When I was coming to this place, I was given a host. Somebody I've never seen before. I have
That,
never met.
that is your organization gave you a
The
host.
organization gave me a host.
Okay.
And you
Have they,
see,
have they been doing that for every new employee?
yes, that is what they've been doing.
Okay.
But with my other colleagues, I told you we are nine. All these guys, they were recommended by friends over here and
Okay.
friends working with the organization.
Okay.
So when they were coming, those friends hosted them. But for me, nobody recommended the organization to me. So I knew no one over here.
Okay.
So the company had to give me someone who is working in the company
Okay.
and was willing to host. So they had to send an email, and then one Liberian guy decided to host me. And bro, if I should go anywhere to speak ill of that man, then God will never bless me. They have been very supportive. When I got to this place, they have been so good to me. The family has been so good to me, and for now, they don't even want me to move from their place to go and get my own apartment. They have been very supportive. So acclimatizing myself to the system has been so easy for me. I mean, they have been here for quite a number of years, so they are used to the system. They told me things that I am to do that is going to help me, things that I am to do that is not going to help me. They gave me all the feelings about acclimatizing myself over here. So it has been so easy for me, honestly speaking. It has been so easy for me. They are from Liberia and they've been very helpful.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is it okay with you if we like come together and establish like a network or a framework which would be purposely looking for these opportunities and sharing with people who are interested in like coming to teach in the US on either J1 or H-1B visa? I know that is a whole lot of work. Is it something that you are willing to do so that we can maybe collaborate and do something like that just for the culture and for the family back home?
I wouldn't have any problem with that, provided I am free.
Okay.
Anytime that I am called upon to share my insights or my knowledge on stuff like that, I will avail myself because I mean, you never know. So me, I am always available when there is that opportunity for me to give out to people what I have benefited from. I will do that without hesitation. Yes, so I am available.
Okay. And is it also okay if you can talk to your other Ghanaian colleagues who are interested on coming on TDN so that we can have a joint section with all of them so that each of them will share their experiences for our followers to listen and pick a thing or two from. And they might
Okay,
also recommend other organizations as well.
okay, okay. So I'll talk to them about that, and I believe one or two of them would want to do that. Yes, yes, one or two would want to do that. Yes, so I will bring them on board.
Okay.
I'll bring them
If
on
you are
board.
watching us live now, don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel. That is the Delali Network. Very, very important. Subscribe and recommend the channel to others who are interested in studying or working abroad. In our next session, we are going to bring someone who also went to the USA on a J1 visa. Another person who went to Germany to have his master's and his PhD. In our next two sessions, these are the discussions we are bringing to you live. So just prepare for it whilst we are wrapping up for this session. So Ken, what is your final advice for people who are looking to either study or work abroad? What is your final advice to them?
So my final advice to the many out there who wants to come to this place is that you should do more research on your own. Sometimes it is not every day that slight you or myself will be giving you with the information. We may not have it all. So when you are provided with one or two, just make sure that you explore more on yourself. Read more about what has been given to you. Let that one be a supportive item for you. Because I always say that I was just given one organization, and out of that one, I was able to come out with so many organizations. And out of the so many organizations, I got one out of the so many organizations that has brought me over here. So if they have provided something out there, even if you don't fall within that category, make sure that you read about other ones. Use what has been provided as a yardstick in reading about the others, because your answer may be in the others that you have found for yourself. So don't ever stop trying to do new things and believe in yourself, but don't ever stop praying to God, because if it is not for God and for grace, whatever you believe in, just put your trust in whatever that you believe in. If you are a Muslim, put your trust in whatever that you believe in over there. Because in my story, I always say that it is the God factor that has brought me to where I am now. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much, Kenny. So just a recap of his story. His diploma in basic education, he had a second class lower, according to him, and his bachelor's in special education too, he had a second class lower. He was a teacher with the Ghana Education Service with 6 years of experience, but by the grace of God, he has been able to move to the USA last year to come and teach here as a rehabilitation counselor, and he has been here for the past 6 months and he's doing well actually. Thank you very much for coming on board, and we have come to the end of today's discussion. I'm still reminding everyone to try and subscribe to my YouTube channel, as in the coming days I have another content for you, which is I'm bringing someone who came to the US with a J1 visa. Then in our next discussions, we are also bringing someone straight from Germany. So stay tuned and don't forget to subscribe. Have a lovely night or have a lovely good afternoon. Take care and bye bye.
Bye bye.